What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of No Neutral. Last week in the CPT West, it delivered on all fronts. We thought it was going to be amazing. We thought we were going to have a whole lot of slobber knockers, barn burners, and we got all of that and some. But before we get into breaking all of that down, the most amazing match that we saw, I want to make sure I give a big shout out to Nanai and of course my guys, Team No Motion over there on Capcom Fighters Japan, holding it down. Much love to you guys and to the Japanese fans watching. Arigato gozaimasu. And one more person that I want to thank is today's Troll of the Week. My man makes it clear that if someone says GG's to him when he's salty, then Street Fighter VI is gonna start right there. I feel like my guy was speaking some facts right there, Brian. What you think?
Everyone who's thirsty, you know, if you're thirsty for that Street Fighter 5 or Street Fighter 6 news, there you go right there. Just hit up my man Josh, play him in a set, wash him, say GG's, and you'll find out all the latest news. So I know everyone's thirsty for the next big development, and there we go. We got it right there in the YouTube comments.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, one thing that's going to be generating a whole lot of YouTube comments, I'm sure, over on the Capcom Fighters page is Nephew and all of his matches, bro. I mean, he was just on fire the entire tournament. And of course, in general, Samurai, Mia. Actually, that's the first person that I want to shout out. You know why? Because, of course, that's mid best right there, Brian. You know where we're from. So, of course, there's already a little bit of bias. But there's also a bit of personal bias because I like to look good. That's why I got the waves like that. That's why I got this beautiful polo on right now. And Mia made me look good because I'm pretty sure. Brian, let me know, who was my dark horse pick? I'm trying to remember because
Your dark horses, they did pretty good. You know, they did pretty good. Taking the second place, calling that not too bad. But I gotta say, shout out to Mia as well. You know, I guess I'm Midwest these days, and I actually remember I met Mia at our local. I remember Mia showed up first time we played. It was not the level of play that we saw today. So I want to say that Mia has come such a long way in her progression as a player. I mean, we played and I think it was 50 games and it was 50 games straight where I won by doing only shimmy. So I said, hey, it was about a first to 50, you know, back in season 1 or season 1 or 2 Street Fighter 5. And then since then, she's moved on to the West Coast and has leveled up tremendously. You can't win playing it simple against Mia, and her offense is ridiculous. I mean, you know how I feel about Laura to begin with, but I'm watching those stats like, good luck. You see me in the bracket, good luck to you. I hope, you know, the best for you. Good luck on guessing right every time because Mia's offensive reads are next level. You thought V-Shift was going to destroy Laura? Did you see the way she chased down those V-Shifts?
That forward fierce? But imagine you're going up against Laura or something like that. Put yourself in those shoes and then you call yourself you backing off or something like that because V-Shift does exist in real life. At least it does for me. And then you just see one of these right in your face. HD. Damn, luckily I put some lotion on today. But Mia definitely was not worried about none of that. You can see her her adaptation to the new patch, the time that she puts in. It reminds me, when I see moments like that, Brian, it reminds me of like fitness, people on their fitness journeys. As soon as I see somebody there super ripped up with a lot of muscle, I don't just see the muscle, I see the time that they put in, and that's what I saw with Mia's play this weekend.
I don't know, you see the same thing when you look at me, but besides that, let's give a shout out to the rest of the people in the top 8. We had Mortzi and Filipino Man, my fellow Equinox brethren, rounding out 7th place there. Mortzi coming in, repping that Fong. First CPT top 8 for Fong in quite some time. Chris CCH and Danka Diaz getting 5th place. And Chris CCH was one of my favorites to win the whole event. He went down in winter semis to Nephew and then lost to Samurai because Samurai was put into losers early in one of the biggest upsets of the weekend, which was to Danka Diaz, who got 5th.
Dank, that was a good match.
That sets up a big storyline.
Not a close match. Like Dank smoked him.
Right.
Yeah, that was.
So, I mean, these brackets were stacked, right? Samurai going to losers early to Dank. It's not that much of an upset. I think maybe people who aren't as familiar with the West Coast might not know, but Dank is that dude under the radar in the West Coast who's always a threat. One of the most technical players with Dhalsim and G, and a guy I look up to. Anytime I have questions about G, Dank's the guy I go to. He knows all the tech. So shout out to Dank with a great 5th place finish. Speaking of Sim, Commander Jesse with the 4th place, playing just fantastic. Always just in the right spots. I think he's one of the most consistent Sim players of all time, really, and definitely one of the best West Coast Sims. But yeah, well, did you hear what I said? Sim, Fong?
Man, yeah.
Street Fighter 5 top 8s. We're getting some weird characters in these top 8s.
That is weird.
We were talking about Cammy. Talk about the zoners. The zoners, I'm going to say, because these zoners know how to rush down, but the zoners are making a big push for themselves in this top 8. So shout out to Jesse for getting all the way to 4th. And Samurai at 3rd, one of the favorites to win the event, playing both Akuma and Ryu. Looking really good with both those characters, but he fell short to Mira, as we spoke about getting that 2nd place. But I mean, the story about this weekend is really how dominant our 1st place finisher is, Nephew.
Brian, see, that's why I'm over here, I'm nodding, I'm agreeing, I'm listening and all that stuff, and I'm like, but in the end of the day, all of those people lost, okay? Everybody that you just named lost in the end of the day. Now, of course, I love all you guys, and you did amazing, and you put on an amazing show, and it was an inspirational performance, but you lost, and it happens to all of us, happens to the best of us. It's not going to happen to me at CPT Midwest 1. You heard it here first. But Nephew went through and smoked everyone. I mean, it was pretty free. Who did he lose a game to in the bracket, Brian?
He only lost 1 game the entire tournament, and that was in winter semis to Chris CCH, which I think was the deciding match to me. To me, the winner of that Chris CCH versus Nephew match was the favorite to win the event. And Chris CCH has given Nephew a lot of trouble in the past. I mean, they've gone back and forth in these online brackets over 2020 and 2021. But Nephew, I think Nephew's just been on that consistent, steady increase in his level, because like I said, that's the only game he lost the entire tournament. Imagine going through a tournament and losing only 1 game, and the time you lose it is to like the best player who has the highest chances of beating you, and it's a 1st of 3 sets. So you're not even sweating. You're not even in that position where you're gonna lose.
The reason he was able to do that, bro, is because he's the best player in the West Coast. He's the best player over there now. It's finally time for us to have that conversation.
I feel like the baton had sort of passed. Like the other West Coast heavy hitters were like Pierre Balrog and Snake Eyes, especially from the Street Fighter 4 era. But even starting with 2019, I would be tuning into those Wednesday night fights that they have, I believe, in Oakland, and they have other regions, right? And it would be Nephew and Samurai in grand finals, right? And then for the longest time, it was Nephew losing to Samurai. But 2020, Nephew comes out on top in the qualifier and wins and he also wins the 2020 season finals with the exhibition 1st to 5 versus Samurai. So this is like a victory lap. I think 2020 is when he said, hey, I'm the guy to look out for. 2021, he's like, hey, I'm still the guy. I'm actually just taking that extra step to put myself that much more above the competition. And this started back in 2019. I just want to give one shout out to his performance in 2019 at the NA Regional Finals. He went to losers to CN. This is a super premier event, so like the most stacked bracket you can think of. Lost to CN, and then took out me, and then took out Oil King, and then Itabashi back to back to back. And then lost
one
to
of those
Tokido
players
after.
did not need to be brought up. Like when you look at the levels,
right. CN, Oil King, Brian F, Itabashi. It's a pretty good run for him. Only Tokido could stop him. You had to go one. It's a little bit better than those players, just a tiny bit higher up on the power scale to stop Nephew. So I think he really hit that stride late 2019 and kind of solidified himself at that level in 2021.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, I mean, and then I feel like just to come out and win the actual first event, bro, as if our words aren't enough, right? And the eyeball test isn't enough. I asked the man himself. I talked to Nephew today, and I actually asked him, like, what do you think? Like, do you think you are the best player in the West Coast? And he said, yeah, definitely. He thinks that of all of the players, no one over there can beat him consistently. And he thinks no one can beat him consistently, and there's some people who can beat him, of course, but not long term. He's more so worried about like character matchups and things of that nature at this point than worried about the other players. So as long as he's locked in, Nephew right now, clearly he's on a different level, and I can't wait to see what he does at Capcom Cup.
FGC, I think it's time we had that conversation. It's not even 2020 anymore; it's 2021. I think it's time we've talked about it. It's the the elephant in the room, maybe. Do online results matter? Do they matter? Rob,
bro,
you got some thoughts about this?
I am so tired. Look, let me put it like this. This is not something that we're bringing up out of thin air. There's people making these tweets and stuff are like, yo, a lot of people are getting a big head and thinking that they're at a certain level now because of online. CPT being online is making it so that, yo, relax. and actually shut up, grow up, because what you're saying actually makes no sense whatsoever. Where it does make sense, it doesn't make sense when it comes to the conclusion you come to, but what does make sense is why you come to that conclusion. People come to these conclusions because of psychology. This happens all the time. Whenever ego is involved, we're gonna have people making some type of excuses and trying to downplay their competitors. Recently, I've been looking into F1, Formula One racing, and it's so fascinating. But to give you a general gist, like, there's different teams, right? But everyone's car isn't automatically the same. Mercedes' car and Ferrari's car isn't the exact same. So the racers, generally speaking, the drivers, when they lose, a lot of times they'll say our car just wasn't good enough, or so on and so forth, things of that nature. But that's just what people do whenever there's any type of a loophole, whenever there's any type of an out that can be used to explain away their loss. This is also why we see people saying that people are carry when it comes to characters, and this character is OP and things of that nature. They use that with things like that, where there's not really too much legitimacy or base behind it. Let alone we take it to online, which genuinely does have latency automatically. There's gonna be latency, there's gonna be lag. So now there's actually some type of automatic credence to your complaint. But the thing is, I would say that the difference between an online tournament, and Brian, I'm gonna toss it to you on to see what you think, but I think the difference between an online tournament and how much the results matter offline is this. In an online tournament, you need to, I would say, take about 3 to 6 months of results. I would say 3 months is enough, but I would say 3 to 6 months. Because time and time again, I have seen people in like NLBC and Wednesday night fights, things of that nature, and they go on hot streaks for 2 weeks. And people's memories are so short that they immediately crown this person as a king or queen, and all of a sudden this person is godlike and so on and so forth, and then they fall off the face of the map. It happens all the time. So, but you never see someone go on 3-month spurts and they aren't consistent. They don't stay at that level. Whereas offline, I would say you could just take it, I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, because there's so many tournaments and there's less variability. Maybe 1 month, 2 months. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. So the gap changes, but it's still the same thing, consistency over time, in my opinion, Brian.
Right. And I see what you're saying about people just, they're coping, right? And I've been on that end of it, right? So like there is a genuine disadvantage to online format. It exists. And the perfect ideal scenario, sometimes it feels just like offline. You know, when I'm training or competing with certain people, I got no excuse, man. It feels like offline. There's no visible latency, there's no rollback, but that's not always the case. Like there's definitely scenarios where there's a monkey wrench in the bracket. You know, you go to hit confirm and then on the screen it shows a hit and then it goes away. You confirm into something unsafe and you lose the set. That happens. Every single tournament might not have the most perfect bracket, but I think to really dissect what we're saying, like you brought up the trend thing, I think we need to take a step back and look at like our formats in general. Is the offline double elimination bracket over a weekend the number one way to determine who is the better player in that room, right?
Is that actually
the best way? I think for the FGC, it's the best compromise between competitive integrity, entertainment, and just feasibility, you know, just logistics. It's the best way we have to run an event, finish it, get 500 players in and out, and figure out who's number one in that format for that weekend. Does that mean that number one first place finisher is 100 times better than the person in 100th place? Maybe not. Maybe they didn't run into their bad matchup. Maybe they got lucky and there was an upset early on in the bracket and they had an easier path. Maybe the seeding was off. Maybe there was a killer who beats him every time who he didn't have to play, right? It's not the end all be all. That one tournament does not tell you exactly where every player lies. It's over the trend of a season where we start adding up the points, where we get a much more accurate picture of where the skill levels lie. Online, it's the same thing. You can't look at every individual interaction. You can't look at every individual win. And you can't just look at any tournament. You got to look at the results over time. Look at NLBC, look at WNF. Who are the people winning? It's the same people every time. You know, NLBC, it's like Idom or Punk. Like 95% of the time, it's Idom or Punk. Punk with his 30th character, or Idom just doing business as usual. Would you say that's inconsistent with offline results? No, there are times where, Punk's, he moved to Florida. I can talk about Florida because I'm from there originally. Florida is not a good place to live if you want to play online. It's just
not at all.
It's not.
It's actually the worst, arguably,
right.
in America.
It's not. So sometimes you see Punk stream, he's streaming. Sometimes the connections, they fall apart. You might lose a tournament here or there. Well, whatever. It doesn't, if you look at the results over time, it's still obvious that he's beating everybody with random select practically, and that he's that much better than the rest of the competition. So I think it's a lot about like what you said. It's coping. It's people trying to look for an excuse. And I've been there, man. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I rolled back there. Then I look at the clip, and then, you know what? Maybe actually I just got beat and there was no lag.
Yeah.
But that little bit of doubt, it really messes with you. It's a very big psychological hindrance, and you have to learn to check yourself. If you're a competitor, you really have to like check the replay, check what's going on there, because you have to get over that hump. It's tough. So it is difficult, but.
And we're only human. Human, so we're going to get salty sometimes in that moment, right? And even if it rolled back in a crucial spot, let's say I'm fighting somebody and it came down to the last hit and I low four and it rolls back, and then I do a tinkle, I get punished, I lose. I still had to get down to it being the last hit. There's so much. People think of first to twos as just, it's a quick first to two. But what about first to 4 rounds, for example? You know what I mean? Like, there's 99 seconds in each round, and there's a lot that you could do to stop somebody from winning, and, for you to implement your strategy. And a lot of strategy isn't even reliant, and this might ruffle some feathers too, most parts of people's strategy is not even reliant on reactions, right?
I agree.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. And I think what you're saying is I gotta, just acknowledge that I think victories are made out of those little moments, like what you're talking about. Like a lot of those first to twos, you look at the bracket, you see 2-1. It doesn't tell you that was last hit, last round, right? It doesn't tell you that it was that clutch confirm that led into the momentum and they made the comeback, right? So those things definitely matter. They matter for each individual match, and that's where we get hung up on those things. And I just think, once again, it matters in those moments, but over time you keep seeing that it doesn't matter, because you're right, it's more about strategy, more about like picking and choosing what you're looking for. It's more about what you're focusing on. Yeah, I'm going to focus on the air in this situation. I'm going to look for these 3 options here, and then if they choose a surprise option, maybe there's a few milliseconds shaved off where you can't react in time. It does matter, but does it matter that much? That's where it's hard to tell. It's the gray area that makes it so painful for competitors, and that's where you see the excuses and the salt come from. Just look at the trend over time. Look at the people who are winning. I got to shout out Nacer. Every single CPT event,
he loves,
the same people winning online as who won offline. Every single event. I don't think we've had any surprise winners at all since 2020 began. Was there anyone who like really shocked?
I would say, wasn't there a surprise winner in Singapore last year? Was it SKZ?
SKZ, he qualified, but Cien also qualified. I mean, SKZ, he showed up to Street Fighter League. He showed up to Street Fighter League and did his thing offline.
SKZ's nice. He's nice, but we just didn't know he was nice, I guess.
Right. So what can you say? He showed up week 1 and destroyed Punk, right? Was that lag? No. Like, he just has the skills, right? So I don't think there's anyone who's qualified for any of these CPT events where you can really take that away from them at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian, at this point, we've talked about the amazing CPT West, and of course the Sith Lord Dark Neff being the best player on the West Coast now, in our humble opinions. Maybe not so humble in my opinion. And then of course we also talked about the fact that people try to downplay online results, and we see that that's actually completely inaccurate to do. And with that being the case, we know it's a lot on the line. We're about to see who deserves, who has the skills, the heart, the unmitigated goal to represent CPT Asia East. You know what, Brian? I think this is about to be one hell of a show.
I am so excited because we finally get a separate Asia East region. Last CPT, these countries were kind of lumped in with Japan, and we only had 2 qualifiers for that whole region. So many talented players were just forced to drown in pools and not make it to that first place finish just out of the fact that there's only 2 tournaments. So now that Japan has its own region, more qualifiers, East Asia has 2. We got Taiwan, Hong Kong, and South Korea represented here. We get to see a lot more diversity in the people making it to Capcom Cup, and just get to see more of these players because before, if you didn't catch those pool matches, if you didn't kind of look through the archives of the streamers or dig around, you didn't get to see a lot of these players for a whole season, because we have players like NL and Oil King getting back in the mix, who we haven't got to see at a high level for quite some time. Oil King we got to see in Street Fighter League, but now we get to see him just recently picked up by Red Bull, making a run for qualifying for Capcom Cup. And NL unfortunately had to drop out of Street Fighter League, so I haven't seen him compete in a while, but I know he's picking up that Ryu. He's looking extra scary with that. I've been seeing his sets.
But even before we just get into the players and stuff, I just want to highlight what you brought up there, bro. The fact that with these regions splitting up, there's going to be a whole lot of new players shining, and I'm definitely all here for it.
Right, exactly. And some of those players include Gamerby, Hot Dog, Xiaobao, Human Bomb. One of my personal favorites, Punko. I see him in the bracket. I know he's been playing a lot of
money match
lately.
God.
The money, that is so true. I have played many a money match versus Punko. He is always down to play.
Does he let you leave if you win, or does he make you play again?
Well, the thing is, he's usually beating me every time, but then finally one time I got the win, and I said, no, Punko, I'm gone.
Oh, really? Oh, you bounced?
I did it to him. Every time he's made me run it back till he came out on top. But one time I got the win right away, and I said, hey, man, good games. Nice to play you. See you later. So I'm glad to see him back in the mix. Another one, ZJZ, the Capcom Cup LCQ qualifier, the winner of that tournament in 2018, who made it into Capcom Cup through the LCQ.
Punk actually flew ZJZ to that LCQ. From what I understand, ZJZ wouldn't have been there, but Punk just know how amazing he is, which is a huge cosign. One of the best players in the world, recognizing his skill like that, and clearly he was right because he won the entire event. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing ZJZ. And I mean, a lot of these players have a lot of tournament backstory. Of course, Oil King and his play style, man. Like, Oil King's play style it matches. Actually, I was gonna say it matches the way that he dresses, but he doesn't, because the way he dresses is
he dresses clean.
Yeah, he dresses clean, and his play is the dirtiest. It's the dirty taquito of old. Man. You know what I mean? He has a method to his madness. I know he's gonna put in work. And then someone who just, man, he just burst onto the scene. I remember this is when Problem X super on fire. He just dropped his hottest album, and then here comes this guy, Hot Dog, coming out of nowhere with the V-Trigger 2 setups and, just extremely unique style of play. Solid, clearly a lab monster. So, of course, Hot Dog is just an amazing player. But beyond Hot Dog and beyond Hong Kong in general, I specifically want to focus on this region as a whole, and especially Korea, because of the fact that they're right there with Japan in a lot of these tournaments. I feel like Korea doesn't get as much shine, doesn't get as much respect as it deserves when you look at the actual concentration of talent there. It's similar to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Scottie is amazing, but man, he's next to Michael Jordan. Brian X. Balrog, he's dealing with Rob TV's Karen. Things of that nature. It's hard to shine when you're next to a legend or a legendary figure or entity or something like that. So, Brian, playing me and stuff in tournament, I'm sure you can relate to this. And would you agree that Korea is in your type of position where they're actually amazing at what they do and deserve more shine?
Right, except, at the end of the day, it's all about winning the tournament. So I think Korea actually might have a good shot of winning Capcom Cup and not just taking the matches along the way there. So that's why it speaks to the strength of the region. So yeah, I agree though. Japan is a dominant force, and people really respect the depth of talent, like how many high-level players are there. And for Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, people usually talk about the individual players. Like, we know the players' name. You know about Hot Dog, you know about Gamerby, you know about Oil King, you know about NL. But people tend to not really recognize the depth of talent that goes beyond that. And I mentioned before, like, these are the online grinders. Like, I'm telling you again, look at that CPT, or look at the CFN rather, the top 100 ranks. Like, you're going to see a lot of players there from Korea on the grind. And they were kind of consumed in that Japan bracket. I mean, that was just such a mean bracket. Those 2020 Japan online, because it was not just Japan, it was Asia East, right? And there were so many players from Korea and Japan in there. I mean, that's just so brutal. And only 2 people to qualify out of there. So I love the fact that these regions are divvied up, so we get to see a lot more players in like those top 16 streams. So it's just definitely a tournament to look out for, because I think you're going to see some surprise names that you haven't heard of before that are going to be playing maybe your favorite character at a level you did not know was possible. Because some of the highest ranked online representatives of a lot of characters, Birdie, Ryu, Akuma, Sagat, and Vega, just to name a few, they're all from these regions. Like, they're the #1 players online. They're from these regions. So keep a lookout for this bracket. There's going to be so many talented players representing characters that you might love.
Brian, you bring up an amazing point when you talk about the character representation. And one thing I just want to make sure that I add and clarify, put a spotlight on, is the most important thing that all of these players are representing is themselves. It's their work. It's their grind. Every single thing that they've put in training mode and all of those matches, in time spent studying, every single hit confirm that we're gonna see today, every whiff punish, every single you win or you lose is taking someone that much closer or that much further away from their dreams, from their end goal. And that's why we're all here. We want to see the blood spill. We want to see the snot fly. And of course, a lot of people also are here because they want to see Big Hollywood's waves and my beautiful polos. And Brian, I guess they want to see your Party City fake mustache that you glued on as well. But with that being the case, there's nothing fake about what we're about to see right now in CPT Asia East Top 16.
without stop.
The main event!
Fight!
Line it up. What a power to the earth! See what I'm really made of.
Pleased to meet you.
The honor was mine. I'll settle that.
I'm shaking here.
Bow down before my psycho power. right to run off to mom now.
These matches are going to be even more ridiculous.
If you know anything about Street Fighter, you do not doubt the GOAT.
My man is always hitting go. You thought I was playing? Oh, you're hella dead.
The main event.
Help me out, Nadeshko.
Look how much it means to him.
Wow! It's not over. Are you serious? My man is reading right now. My man is reading.
And welcome everybody to the Capcom Pro Tour. This is going to be the Asia East action. This year we're actually having Asia separated from the rest of Japan.
Yes.
So we're going to get some more players qualified from the Asia region. I think that's going to be exciting. I'm James Chen.
I'm Vicious. And again, James is going back and forth in his seat for a very good reason. You guys are about to tune in to some of the best players in the Asia East region, which we're going to take a look at, right? We're here for the top 16. A lot of representation from South Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Those are going to be the three main areas that consists of this top 16.
Yeah, no, actually I was moving back in my chair because if they had started the stream like 2 minutes earlier, it would have heard us singing together.
Yeah,
but, you know,
yeah. We were rocking out a little bit. That's how excited we were to get to these matches. And for a very good reason, right? We see here over in the Weirdest Corner Finals, we have NL going up against Oil King. It's going to be a team kill right off the bat. Then, of course, you have RB going up against Gamer
that's
B.
a country kill right there.
That
right?
is, yeah,
So
unfortunately. Then, of course, you have Punko going up against Xiao Bao and Infiltration rounding it out against Hot Dog 29. When we look down below into the losers bracket, who else do we have, James?
We have YE Sports Human Bomb, longtime player. I mean, we'll talk about him when we get to that match. And some names that we're not as familiar with now. There's S-Oil BPH. You guys, if you know your Korean players, you can probably figure out that what that stands for. Minute Maid Orange, C19 NMSL Fake Crab, and then QHDWN22. This I feel like I'm like reading like a enter
you're
this
reading
code.
code.
Yeah, to get your discount on Steam. We've got X Gear, Yo-Yo Tai, Dirty 1M, and Combo Strike. And as you had mentioned, it's really just down to Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong right now.
Right, that's going to be the main regions represented for the Asia East qualifier number 1. And again, as they mentioned in the pre-show, right, Rob TV and Brian F, before last year, they actually scrunched it up all in one region, right? We had just as many players from like Japan, Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Everybody was scrunched up together in one region, but now we get to really highlight some of the other regions as well with these kind of qualifiers, expanding into 19 different territories with 32 events. And again, this is only what? Which one is it now? Number 5? Number 4? I've been doing this like every single week. It's like,
I know, right? You
Japan.
You've been
Japan,
Central
America West, and then North America West, South Canada.
This is number 4.
This is number 4.
Yeah. And honestly, you know, what's cool about this is, you know, we're getting the expansion. Before the stream started, we were talking with some of the staff about, you know, how U.S. has not just East and West, not even just U.S. There's West, there's East, and there's Central as well for the United States.
Too.
Look, I feel like we're growing, we're expanding. There's definitely some regions that I know that we're not even covering, you know, for this year, but it just keeps growing. And at some point in time, I would just love to see if it was just like, hey, look, Taiwan, hey,
by
Korea,
itself,
just by their own
right.
regions, you know. I mean, and I feel like as long as we keep growing, CPT keeps growing and getting bigger. Look, fighting games, universal language. We all know what Aruken is.
Hey, I know that one. I still know that
as long as, you know, we know that and we all know fighting games, we will all speak a universal language. Playing fighting games, playing Street Fighter all around the globe.
And getting into our top 16, as we really get ready for our first match of the day, we did talk about some of the characters that were represented in the last CPT event. This time, there are plenty more cameos around. In fact, we do have some pretty solid diversity either way, right? I will be honest with you, chat. Right now, we're looking at about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential cameos. 5 potential cameos.
I'm surprised we don't see any more Dalsums there, because in the last tournament, the Dalsum was clearly the best character, right?
Yeah, we'll put it that way. Sure. They fell a little short, but either way, we're looking at so many different players as well. There's like representation for like Ryu, Rashid, Urian is still there. We have one Dan. I'm
excited. So Xiaobao here is a player that we've seen use Vega in the past, potentially Nakali in the past. But from all the stuff that I've seen recently, he might be a Lucia player.
Lucia player in the top 16.
And for everyone who knows me, that's the character that I main in Street Fighter V right now, and I wasn't really sure we were potentially going to be able to see. I'm trying not to jinx it right now, but let's see if
he's gonna jinx it. I feel like
commentators curse.
It's the classic. James.
Okay, you know what? Can we go back? You
can't rewind it. No, it's already been put in history, James. You can't do that. You do not have that power. The VOD cannot be altered, cannot be deleted. It is what it is right now. But we are getting into our first match very soon. It's going to be the UIU boys back in town. It's NL versus Oil King. I know Jinhee was tweeting about it. He's like, man, why does it have to be? Why did it have to be this way? But, it is what it is. Let's take a look at what both players had to say to each other. Nothing but kind words, I'd imagine, because these guys are teammates and training partners. NL says, last year, I didn't make it to top 8 in any of the CPT events. I want to do my best to advance to Capcom Cup this year.
It's your fault that I've been watching a lot of Iron Chef recently.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to read all these quotes in the audio dub over there.
Son, yes. Go on.
I want to do my best to advance to Capcom Cup this year.
It has to be. You have to do it for Oil King. Let's take a look at what Oil King has to say.
Let's see. Here we go. On my way to the top 8, I need to fight with my good teammate at UIU, NL. It makes me sad, but we will show you guys a high-quality match.
Oh, without a doubt, James. To be honest with you, Oil King, NL, easily players you would see in a Capcom Cup caliber stage.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt. They've been to that stage before many times, right? But the fact that they're playing off first game into the top 16 is a real heartbreaker.
Look, you know what? For those of you old school out there and know the name Jason Cole, he was always famous for saying top 16, top 8 is where you start eliminating your friends. And that's just the truth at this point in time. And so we've got this team kill here for UIU. I mean, look, if you don't want them to fight each other, one of you can jump to the losers bracket earlier.
It's better to fight somebody you're familiar with, in my opinion.
Exactly.
I mean, it's somebody you've been practicing against. Then you get your full potential out. No tricks pulled. There's no real planning beforehand. It's like I gotta make sure I come all the way through, cards all on the table for this particular matchup. And that's exactly the kind of match we're expecting between NL and Oil King. Now, the question remains, will NL actually pull out the Ryu? I know for sure he's been studying Cammy and rocking that character for a very, very long time.
I mean, that's where he started in Street Fighter V.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, we've seen him show up to a lot of West Coast events as well, taking down tournaments with Cammy. But he has dabbled with Ryu for a couple of instances, a couple of events, especially nowadays too, if you guys have been doing your research. But Cammy still might be the pick. And of course, Oil King rocking Rashid.
Yeah. And again, what's cool about this is NL is just one of those players that has really started standing out, in Korea's scene, right? He has become one of those top players. Same thing for Oil King, right? So for the longest time from the Taiwan region, it has always been about Gamer B. But then Oil King's Rashid. The reason why I mentioned that, I mean, I was told his nickname Oil King comes from the fact that he uses Rashid because he's the Oil King, right? And so there you go. And it is going to be the Cammy. No surprise here. Obviously, a big talk in Capcom Pro Tour right now. Potentially the strongest character in the season. Right. We already have 2 Cammys in the CPT out of the 3. So here you go.
This is looking really tough for Oil King right now. Already close to stun. That could have been more than enough. Either way, NL does get the stun. A little bit of damage, or a little bit of meter, I should say. A throw will do it. Big tech from Oil King. And I say this because it gives him an opportunity to let the trigger rip. But is he going to? Not even a chance. Oil King goes in with the shimmy, utilizing that fast walk speed, getting the W first round to NL.
And one of the things I like to tell people about Street Fighter, you want to get that offensive situation where you can set up the RPS, the shimmy throw or attack kind of situation. Sometimes you can just do it just by catching someone off guard. Walk up to their face and then shimmy, and that's it.
Have we seen NL go anywhere else on the stage other than this corner? Absolutely not. And it's going to end here with game number 1, NL making quick work of Oil King.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the username over there that says 5566 can't die. Well, he's going to have to do a little bit more work to live up to that username, because right now, that was only die.
To be honest with you, it was really tough to call out right in the beginning. NL went straight forward in round number 1. Round number 2, a whirlwind shot did show up from the side of Oil King, but NL was in the right positioning, had the jump in time as well, and that was pretty much all of it. Once that knockdown happened, it was nothing but oppression. Oil King could not get out of pressure.
Yeah, I'm impressed that you even saw all that. I swear I blinked and it was over.
I did not blink. As soon as the round was over, that's a trick, right? When there's a cameo on screen, you're not allowed to blink.
Yeah.
And you have to really pay attention to everything. It could go down to the wire. There are certain instances where she gets a throw. Then you get to blink, right? Mid-screen. Because if Cammy gets a throw mid-screen, she doesn't get Oki. However, if it's in the corner, she is close enough to throw down a normal.
Oh, but look at this. Oil King is going to switch to the Seth, a character that he has used in the as in the back pocket to see if maybe this will stave off, because the Rashid obviously did not get a chance to do anything. So let's see if Seth can actually benefit him this time.
Ooh. Yeah, opting to use a V-Skill 1 as well.
And gets that counter hit confirmed into the stand heavy punch. And again, the walk-up shimmy. And guess what? It doesn't matter what character Oil King is using.
That's enough for the stun.
It's just the same. Oh, I love
so
the
smart on the side
switch.
switch. Don't get back thrown. I said don't get back thrown. I said it, right, James?
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard it.
I wanted to make sure it came out loud and clear.
I mean, look, between the 3 rounds that we've seen so far, Oil King that's about as much damage as Oil King has done, I think.
We're increasing the lead now.
But there you go. No free jumps for you. NL is on the money right now with the reactions, trying to use the V-shift to get away. But you see right there, NL keeps the pressure going.
And I don't think NL was certain the low-medium kick was going to hit after the V-shift, to be honest with you, because he started swinging with standing medium punch, trying to get a block going.
Ooh, too far away for that suction to actually grab. It is minus, but not punishable. But then when it whiffs like that,
there's a lot of recovery on that. Plenty of time for you to walk up and swing for the fences. Exactly how NL did it.
Oh, okay. I like this confirm. You're going to go
there's
to the
block.
activation.
This is perfect. No V reversal to get out. A lot of pressure here. Just walks underneath. Saw the opening, threading the needle, and it's going to be NL taking a good amount of damage here. But if it doesn't kill, okay, it does kill. I was going to say, even if it doesn't kill, Cammy still gets Oki, but it doesn't matter.
And, you know, this is one of those matches that you're seeing here with 2 characters with very low health. And so you feel like both characters are going to lose life so fast. But honestly, it was, except for that last round, it was just it was only one character losing any health at that point. And yeah, I mean, just like that, game 1 done. It's 2 out of 3 here.
It's 2 out of 3 in top 16. Hey,
it's 2 out of 3, just like that. That's it.
It's been a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
it's been about a week, but you know.
And you know, right away, we see one of the things that makes a lot of people talk about Cammy now. And again, she didn't really get significant buffs during the patch. She got some V Trigger 2 buffs. No one's using V Trigger 2.
She got an extra combo count towards her forward roundhouse.
Right, that was
she got another
hit.
Activation route from her EX Spiral Arrow, which I have yet to see. I don't think it's a real buff because I have not seen it in top level play.
And that's the thing. It's a lot of it just comes down to the characters who are much stronger, Urian, Seth, Rashid, getting tiny little nerfs here and there and kind of bringing them. And it's almost this happens a lot with the characters where Cammy was last season. She was always on the precipice of being one of the strongest characters, but when you're not one of the dominating characters that you see a lot, people tend to forget about you. And then, the top characters get buffed a little, and then all of a sudden you sneak in there like that, and you're like, hey, remember me?
She was always at the gate, right? When it came to top 5 discussion, Cammy was always a part of it. But top 3, whole different story.
Right.
At this point in time, I do believe Cammy is without a doubt, top 3.
Yeah, and again, so far, 3 tournaments, 2 Cammies, right? And so probably a good chance, as you mentioned, we have a potential 5 Cammies here in this tournament. So
one of them is already into top 8, and that's NL. But Oil King still has a lot to work with down below in loser side.
Can you imagine? Like, you had to win 1 match on the winner side to get to tomorrow. And NL just sped. And that was like AGDQ status right there. He did speed run stat. He used awesome games done quick because he played maybe just like 10 minutes right there. And that, I mean, maybe even shorter than that for that top 16. And he's done for the day.
It's tough, man. I mean, NL, Oil King, I bet they have over like 1,000+ matches under their belt just against each other alone. So, I mean, there was a lot of comfort there from NL. There was no reluctancy at the start of the match, in between rounds, after getting certain information. In fact, I don't even think there was enough information for NL to be like, okay, I don't think I should change it up yet. I'm going to keep it at phase 1 up until the point Oil King forces the change. There was a bit of a slowdown in game 2 with the set switch, but it wasn't significant enough for him to let off the gas.
Right, exactly. And there you go. NL advances forward. He is done for the day. He will be playing tomorrow. Remember, we're just getting to the top 8 today, but NL's already there. And the next match that we're going to have, we just had the UIU team kill right there. But like I said, this is kind of a different kind of team kill because we got 2 players from Taiwan. We've got RB, who is just one of the greatest, like the Urian. I know we're going to see some walk-up headbutts.
I can't wait.
We're going to see some walk-up headbutts coming up, and then he's going to be going up against Gamer B from Taiwan as well.
When he's been around the block for fighting games, without a doubt. But when he made his appearance over at Red Bull Proving Grounds that year and destroyed everybody with Urian in the fashion that he did it, I was an instant fan, and I was like, this is the Urian to watch. I wasn't the only one that felt that way. Everybody else was like in an uproar, like, yo, RB?
Right.
I'm about it. And to be honest with you, he took a little bit of a break in between then, but now he's back in full force, and it's so great to see. I love seeing RB back into the swing of things, as well as Gamer B. Gamer B has been taking sort of a back seat to competing, and more so in the seat of being a tournament organizer, and has really led the way for a lot of the other players in Taiwan, helping them train and become really, really strong players.
Yeah, but even then, remember, there was the Taiwan Major, I think it was 2019, where he actually stopped running it. Oil King kind of took over because Gamer B wanted to get back into competitive form, right? And so that's going to be interesting because he's definitely one of the elder statesmen of the Capcom Pro Tour right now. So let's take a look and see what that they have to say. And we're going to start here with RB. I'm very happy that I reached top 16. My wish is that I will not have to fight against any more Cam. Well,
it's too late for that. I mean, these quotes were submitted before they got into like their matches against their current opponents, but you know, it happens. He should have looked at the route.
Yeah,
he should have looked at the route beforehand. Let's take a look at what Gamer B had to say. 42-year-old man is coming. You better not lose to me. Do you see? You know how many photos of Gamer B that he sent with him smiling? This is the most serious one I've seen from Gamer B. Is this a new Bruce?
You know, I mean, I never thought about that, but you know, I'm gonna have to start stealing this tech and start using the age option select right there, right? You shouldn't be losing to me. I'm an old man here, right?
I never want to play you ever again, James. I will never ever play you.
I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, you lost to an old man.
Yeah, you lost to an old man.
They're not that
I shouldn't
old.
be winning.
All right, so moving on. RB and Gamer B. So RB is 100% using Urian. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Gamer B has been fluctuating between characters, but as of late, as like last year, the year before that, really started focusing on Cammy.
Right. And there's no reason to stop. Here,
I agree.
Right? I mean, look, RB said, I hope I don't run into Cammy. If Gamer B plays Cammy and then he still manages to win, he has to fight another Cammy because he'll be going up against NL. He definitely, I mean, if there's a commentator's curse for players, he definitely did that to himself.
He's great. He is the prime choice. He might become a commentator in Taiwan. He might.
And here it is, Urian versus Cammy. Yep, for sure, RB is going to have to deal with this Cammy. Are we going to get 2 Cammys into top 8 just to start things off?
I don't know, man. RB's got a lot to say about that. Let's see how it goes down. Game number 1 between Gamer B and RB.
His handle is Uriking.
I like that. Uriking.
Wow, okay.
Is that like the next evolutionary form? Once Urian absorbs the powers of Gil, he becomes Uriking?
I think so. I think that's what it is. But here we go right now. RB. Oh, yeah. But out of the corner just like that. And there you go. Regular headbutt. Yeah. And I like the attempt to go to the air-to-air. But, you know, the dive kick changes the angle of her jump so that it didn't miss. But she really couldn't punish it. Cammy really, Gamer B wasn't ready for it in any case.
And now at the position where Gamer B is trying to poke away and waiting for that, just so patient, waiting for that fireball to come, and finally gets the mark, as well as the side switch, using that EX bar right at the optimal choice.
And he has jumped every time that RB has managed. Oh, the delay! The delay on that was just enough to get Gamer B to stand up, maybe even try to jump away.
Oh, he pressed the button! Gamer B, I don't know what the call was there. Maybe he thought Gamer B, maybe he thought that RB was going to walk up in range to get hit by something?
Or maybe he thought he was far away enough that he was going to try to go for one of those cheeky, like, trade with the, punch through trade combos, and maybe he was just too close. But yeah, he just got hit, got sucked right through there, and RB takes round number 1.
RB's definitely going to take that, getting a brand new start here.
Yep. Gets the back throw. Here we go. So now Gamer B too high up though.
Yes.
Yeah. So and that's Urian is a tall character. That's definitely more likely to happen against tall characters.
Very true.
No EX drill this time from Gamer B at all. Ooh. Okay.
Very delayed tech.
Oh,
there. Catches the tail end of that backdash. Not going to spend it though.
And now, if we activate the mirror, Chip is going to become a problem. Oh, never mind. You know what? Gamer B has never been bashful about throwing out those uppercuts.
I will say, though, it was a perfect time to do it because the last round he was stuck in that situation. He was sitting there blocking for a little bit, did absolutely nothing, and RB was waiting for it that last time.
So RB probably was thinking that he was going to try to do the same. But here we go. Oh, my goodness. The standing heavy push. That might have been priority system right there, beating the crouching medium kick.
And I like that low forward, building the V gauge with that V skill too.
Yeah, and just trying to catch people from trying to counter the crouching medium kick. Oh, yeah, that's going to do it right there. And boom, boom. Gamer B taking game number 1 here. So Gamer B with the first game with the Cammy.
And you kind of saw the pace of round 1 in this game. Gamer B actually had the life lead. Right? He was establishing dominance pretty early at a very slow pace. But once the mirror came out, I feel like it was self-sabotage. He pressed the button. He pressed something to push himself towards the mirror, giving RB that round.
That's true.
I don't think there was enough from RB to really force an error against Gamer B. Maybe it was sheer intimidation factor. I don't know. But fact of the matter is, Gamer B does take the game.
Yeah, and look at that. Using the V shift just to get out of the corner. Interesting choice by Gamer B. But of course, you see that 2-bar V trigger.
So good. Not a confirm yet. Off the low forwards. A couple straight hits from both players, actually. And I like, I like the idea of RB kind of testing the reactions of Gamer B with that, but I think he wanted to force a meter out of it, right?
Yeah, and RB has just had no success with that EX chariot tackle. Optimizing the damage, getting the full medium, and then another shimmy. You remember when we were watching, when we commentated Japan, and that tournament, I believe, was the one where Tokido, like his victory, the matches he won were all down to how many times he landed EX chariot tackle. And so far, RB has been whiffing on every EX chariot tackle.
It's pretty critical, gotta say.
Oh, God.
And not even if it doesn't whiff, it gets absolutely stuffed. That is the second instance we saw in this set from Gamer B, really picking the right time to uppercut right there, and also dive kick, I should say. Dive kick has been the biggest key of this
here
match.
We go. Out of there. Yep. Found the right time to get out of there, but again, accidentally pushes himself into the mirror. But look at this. Still a huge life deficit, but this is going to help. Here we go. What's the setup here? What's the mix-up? Actually, he got the stun. This is not going to kill here. It's going to come close. Wow, he decided to do nothing because he suspected Gamer B.
Yeah! I like that.
Yeah, so the first time we saw that jump back light punch, it missed. But that time he did manage to catch the dive kick. Nicely done to RB. And there we go. Gets the hit on that. We had talked about him whiffing on that and not getting any play out of that EX chariot tackle, but he got it that time. And already trying to push Gamer B into the corner, but the single hit confirmed.
Oh, no!
To keep
all the way
pressure,
down.
instead of doing the dive kick, you keep the pressure. Oh, God, again. Stuffed it. Stays in front. Close to stun. The back throw. He should be able to take these. He's got all the meter. EX. And there it goes. Gamer B is going to set up a potentially Cammy.
It's got to be Cammy match, right, between him and NL?
Yeah, if that's what, because NL, he did use Akuma. You said he talked, you talked to him about him using some Ryu a little bit as well. But it might be Cammy.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Cammy, James. I'm pretty sure. And, it's unfortunate for RB. He did say he wanted one of his wishes fulfilled, but not today. It just wasn't going to happen. Gamer B using the 42-year-old man tech, using that option select, and succeeds over RB with Cammy. Another 2-0 victory, schmoving through the winners quarterfinals right now as we set up for Punko and Xiaobao.
Right. But again, it's exciting for me to see this though, because I've always been not just only just a fan of Gamer B, right? I've just always enjoyed watching him play, but it's such a cool thing to see. I mean, we saw this in the Japan region. The top 8 was generally the average of the age was much higher than a lot of other regions.
It was the old guards, right? That was definitely the tale of the old guards.
And right now we're seeing 42-year-old Gamer B here, and this is one of the greatest. Obviously, there's a lot of health risks. We were talking about Alex Myers before the stream started. He's been having a little bit of problems with his hands and stuff. And get well soon, Mr. Alex Myers. There's obviously risks to the hands and such like that. But it's one of the wonderful things about playing fighting games, video games like this, is you can do this up into the higher ages. I mean, 42. I joke about how old I am, or whatever. It's really not that old, but still, for traditional sports, that's usually about
time to hang it up.
You're
you
done
have to put up
then.
the jersey because you have so many physical limitations that one can bear as age becomes a factor, right? So again, it's been very refreshing to see someone like Gamer B again back into the competitive ring. Taking down someone like RB. And RB as well, I love seeing the fact that his name is in top 16, something I haven't seen in such a long time. He may not be like one of the older guards per se, but he is one of the gatekeepers that has been active in the fighting game community for Taiwan, and seeing him back into a top 16 scenario has been very refreshing. And it's
Gamer B is like, nah, I'm still king of Taiwan here.
Not today, that's for sure. And it kind of brings us back to our next matchup, Punko and Xiaobao, right? Punko has been very active on streams, right? But it hasn't been the same case in his results for CPT. And seeing him in a top 16 scenario has been also very refreshing. Why? Because he's been dabbling with Dan. And this man can play Dan. Let me tell you, I was just on Xian's stream. I think Xian's still streaming right now. I was just on a stream about an hour ago watching the analysis of the pool run of Punko. And the amount of camis he had to go through, right? But this man was hit confirming every single counter hit using the V trigger cancel mechanic.
Oh, the V skill cancel?
Sorry, the V skill cancel. I'm sorry, V skill cancel.
Okay,
my mistake. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's all good.
But the V skill cancel mechanic from Dan, he is destroying people. And then Xiaobao has been using a bunch of other characters as well, but lately on his streams, he's been using a lot of Lucia.
Yeah, which is exciting to me because this is a character, for me right now, my largest hope of seeing a Lucia in a CPT top 16 was Will Tupac right now, who's one of the strongest Lucia players. But if Xiaobao certainly brings Lucia to the mix here, I think that'll be really, really cool to see. I was actually kind of scared. And again, I don't think she's the strongest character. She definitely can win, but there's just not a lot of Lucia players out there. So it was the quantity I was more worried about. But if we can see her in this top 16, I'd be super excited, but we'll see how that goes. But let's see what the players have to say about this. And we're going to start with Punko. He says, I think I'm lucky to come this far. I'm not the best. Wow, this is a humble Punko. I'm not the best, but will do my best.
Very interesting.
Very interesting because, he's always been a gamble style of player. He's always been very aggressive and, a lot of the antics that he's had on stage that he's famous for and stuff like that, there's always this kind of his gameplay speaks a braggadocious kind of style.
Yeah, you see it in his facial expressions. You see it in his demeanor. I wonder if we're going to see it in his gameplay today, honestly. We'll see if he picks Dan, if maybe that might be the choice. But let's take a look. What did Xiaobao have to say? Be careful. I'm back.
All right, we got a warning here. That's all he's doing. He's fired a warning shot to Punko.
Do you see this profile picture? He is the baddest man on the planet with this photo. This is sick.
Dude,
like
he
this.
looks like he looks like he's gonna take you out right now.
he's been around the block when it comes to fighting games as well. He dabbles in a plethora of different fighting games and has been absolutely consistent as a very competitive player. So being in this situation against someone like Punko, I want to see how these two clash.
Man, if this ends up being a Dan versus Lucia match, this is a matchup that I would never have thought that we would have seen like ever. This entire year.
It may well be Abigail as well. That's another character where Punko really gets to express himself in terms of all the aggression and the style he likes to play, and it kind of fits his demeanor, right? He's a very cool guy. He's a very nice person. But in the games, he is a bully.
Yeah, and again, Xiao Bao has used lots of other characters. No guarantee to be Lucia. Could be Vega.
Could be even Nikali. I know he's dabbled with Nikali back in March. There's a lot of footage of him out on CFN. You guys need to take advantage of that system.
It is going to be
Vega. And guess what? It's going to be Dan.
Wow, so we've got one of the most beautiful fighters on screen and Vega as well. So let's go. We'll see how this actually goes. It's going to be Dan, and he is going with the 2 and the 2. The skill and the trigger.
I like that. Oh. And this is what I was talking about. He goes for the raw sweep, James. He's not stopping. Once he starts, he revs up that engine.
And remember.
And you got to take advantage of that, right? That kind of play style, he's prone to doing something wild like EX uppercut.
Yeah, you got to remember, too, when he cancels a normal into that V-skill, too, and then does another... Whoa, that thing just missed! And now you're stuck in the corner.
Uh-oh.
But once you cancel it once, you can't cancel the second one. So that's the whole thing. That's the whole trick with Dan. Oh, the jumping medium punch has the knockdown. And you saw right there a miscancel from Punko. Left him vulnerable. That's the trickiest thing about that V-skill, too. If you miss the cancel... Oh my goodness, how much damage is going to do this? How much is this going to kill? Is this going to kill? Looks like
no
it is
scaling behind it.
Oh
yes, it is, James! Yes, it is! It is going to kill! There was no scaling behind that. That was wrong. Send it back to the kitchen. It was wrong.
Alrighty then. I am starting on my normal streak here.
I like that.
All right.
Hey, 1 for 1. That's a great percentage. Great stats, if you ask me.
All right, now towards the he went for the throw. He even got the meaty as well. Just didn't confirm it. I guess he had just felt like he was going to block that, and there we go.
Oh, the counter hit off the medium kick, James. This is what I'm talking about. Punko is hungry.
All right, here we go towards the corner. And remember, no fight is ever over as long as that stun is building up there. That was so sick. What a reaction for anti-air to be able to get the anti-air ace off so fast.
I love it. The Aurora spin call, the spin edge, I should say. But Punko is not out of it yet. Back throw. That is a heavy baggage to throw around.
Should be done. Yep, there we go. Now the Aurora spin edge. I just call it ace for short. Here we go. Round number 3. And again, the scary thing is as long as Dan, he doesn't necessarily have to stun you because some players have definitely gotten good enough at finding setups for the Danfinite without it. Yeah. But that's the thing is he's never out of a round because if he gets you in the corner in just the right situation, the Danfinite starts.
He still manages to get these sweeps. How does he know when the opponent is going to be walking out of danger?
All right, he's chasing him down. No, actually, he's going to keep him towards the corner. Yep, you got to be careful because once he gets that V-trigger activated, he has the power up. But nice! Xiao Bao's reactions by using the EX to go through those has been so good.
What an excellent time to Rolling Crystal Flash out of there, but still under pressure by Punko. Plus frames everywhere. Hold that. Yep. You're not getting out of here for free.
Dude, he went for that raw sweep again. He just doesn't care, and that's the way that, Punko, like I said, his play style is braggadocious, but, definitely gonna be... oh, no! Okay, gets the knockdown. Here we go. What a walk under!
I love it. I love it. Utilizing that walk speed to its full potential, just out of there. That could have been super dangerous. One of the biggest surprises, though, I got to say it, from Punko, there has been no anti-air attempts from him. There have been a couple of big jump-ins from Xiao Bao, especially in that last sequence, where he got in for free.
Right.
There hasn't been a single normal to anti-air or an uppercut from Punko.
He got one air-to-air, one or two air-to-air jumping medium punches,
Sure,
I feel like.
sure.
But, yeah,
Two.
it's not consistent enough.
There it
we
is.
go. He heard you. He heard you.
Oh, no punish on the sweep.
Yeah. I just... Is it just me, Jeremy? But I just want to see a Dan Finnet on stream at some point.
It's going to be pretty difficult to ask for.
Oh,
but we'll
again,
see.
the walk under. Too far away. All right.
I don't think there's going to be enough life to even get that stun bar up for the Infinite, or the Danfinite, excuse me. What's up?
exactly.
What's up?
Okay, yep, use that to keep himself safe. Otherwise, it is punishable. Ooh, he tried to dash up afterwards, use it as a shield to get in, but ooh, can he punish in time?
Not the biggest damage.
He just...
No
he tried to
punish!
maximize. He tried to maximize the damage. That's what he wanted in that situation. But speaking of maximizing the damage, can he kill with this? Yes, the slide is going to be enough. And here we go. Xiao Bao, 1 round away from taking this 2-0 over Punko to get in the top 8.
Listen, Punko looks like the prime candidate to take it each and every round, but there's been significantly sloppy mistakes. I'm going to be very honest here. There's got to be a little bit of a cleanup from Punko. Again, no anti-air.
I mean, we've been talking so much about Dan, you know, in this so far, but Vega's just one of those characters that, you know, he's been so long with a reputation for being one of the low-tier characters, and he's just crept up little by little, and now he's so scary. Here we go. Yep, maximizing the damage, taking him to the corner.
Yeah, that carry is pretty significant, too.
Oh, no anti-air.
Oh.
You know, he just tried to catch him, and now the side switch, crush counter.
Is he going to spend it? No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. It wasn't going to kill.
Too far. And Xiao Bao now just needs one hit, and he'll be able to get a super, and that's the end of it. Punko has to be so careful. There we go, the
There's right
anti-air.
Oh, boy.
Just the whiff option select right there. Ooh, stealing some turns, getting more plus frames from. Oh, that should do it. The V trigger ready to go for the Rose, and there you go. Watch out, he's back. Xiao Bao into the top 8.
An excellent decision from Xiao Bao to contest with that medium kick. The stand medium kick into V-trigger is all he needed. He was looking for, of course, there's like a bunch of other options he could have had, but at the same time, he understood where Punko was coming from. He knew that Punko was opting to go for as many cancels as possible, right? He wanted to hit the world record for buttons pressed in a match. The fact of the matter is, one of those buttons was just not far enough. He went for a crouching medium punch, boom, whiff punish from the side of Xiao Bao, and what an excellent choice to keep his composure and not get too caught up in the lights of what Punko was doing.
Right, exactly. And there you go, Xiao Bao. And like I said, I kind of touched on it during the commentary there, but during the match. But, you know, Vega's one of those characters that, you know, at one point in time, the Inside With joke was like, you can't downplay this character anymore because he is getting very, very strong. And we see a lot of players out there doing such a good job with that character now.
And we have our third player established for our top 8 for winner's side. As you can see there, NL going up against Gamer B and Xiao Bao, awaiting the winner between Infiltration and Hot Dog 29.
Right. And you know what? I mean, the Street Fighter action is just going on constantly. I mean, we've got some more CPT action next weekend, but there's also another really, really awesome event going on next weekend as well. One of the, here you go.
I see.
Yeah, there's the hint right there. But every year, consistently, Red Bull Kumite has been putting on one of the best exhibition Street Fighter tournaments for the past few years. And sure enough, this next weekend is going to be the Red Bull Kumite. Now, a little bit smaller than normal. They only have 16 players this year. But again, 16 players across the globe. And we've already seen a bunch of the players invited to there. And it is just such a awesome slew of players that are going to showing up there. I mean, already invited are IDOM, Punk, Smug, Problem X, Tokido, Phenom, I mean, Gachakun, Luffy, Bonchan, Oil King, they're all in there right now. And so it's going to be super exciting to watch the Red Bull Kumite next week.
Yeah, you guys can check it out at twitch.tv/Red Bull, as well as youtube.com/Red Bull Gaming. You guys want to set your clocks. It's a 10-hour event, so I'm pretty sure you won't miss it.
Yeah.
If you're a Street Fighter V fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh. Lot of Street Fighter action coming up here. And of course, that doesn't even stop it there too, because there's a lot more going on later on in the year.
Yeah, for those of you that have just been tuning in week after week, you do know that Intel has something big planned for us all later in the year. The Intel World Open going on soon. Intel, a world leader in gaming technology. They will be holding the Intel World Open featuring Street Fighter V Championship Edition. This global esports competition will pit players from around the world against one another in 11 regional finals, where they'll have a chance to fight for a $250,000 prize pool. A $250,000 prize pool.
Life-changing money right there.
Of representing their country as a champion, absolutely. If you think you have what it takes, registration is free and open to everyone beginning tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow. And as a bonus, log into your SF5 account during the registration period to receive an in-game reward. If you want more information on that, check it down below, intelworldopen.gg.
Again, that's going to be the qualifier starts up tomorrow. You definitely want to get in on that action. And again, this is just one of those situations. Like, even if you don't think you can necessarily take the tournament, right? It's just one of those things that you just want to enter, have a good time, play some matches, and just have a fun experience out there and play some Street Fighter V with people across the globe. It's just such a cool thing.
Oh, without a doubt. Again, we have so many events going on for Street Fighter V. It's in such a great place right now with the roster and the current patch. There's so much more to look forward to. We have other characters coming out, and even more, we have plenty of players to look out for. In fact, we still have plenty more Street Fighter V action for you after this break, so don't go anywhere. We'll continue with the winner side and then move on to the losers. We'll see you soon.
You shouldn't only admire my work, but also concentrate a little more on your lessons, Mana. That wake you up? How's this for you? You must be careful. Best watch. Soul satellite! Satellite! What's the meaning of fate? You shall know. You should try to learn to use your power a little better.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Capcom Pro Tour Asia East #1. We just experienced the first couple of matches in the Winners Corner Finals, but we still have one more to determine who will move on into top 8 tomorrow. Vicious here with James Chen. Let's take a look at who we have left between Infiltration and Hot Dog 29 to see who will round it up in our top 8.
Right, and then whoever wins that one will be joining NL, Gamer B, and Xiao Bao. As you can see here in this top 8 on winner's side, Hot Dog, the only player not from either Korea or Taiwan here. So if Infiltration takes this, it will be an all-Korean and all-Taiwan top 8 on the winner's side.
Right.
So let's see if Hot Dog can do his best to keep the diversity a little bit.
We do have plenty of other players down below. We saw earlier in the loser's side, dude. We have Human Bomb, we have BPH, Minute Maid Orange, Fake Crab, QHDWN, Warlord Cammy, by the way. We have plenty of lore on all these players as well. Yo-Yo Tai, Dirty 1M, as well as Combo Strike, right? We still have other players from other regions waiting down below, and they're all killers, I promise you.
Yeah, and that, of course, is when things start to get scary once we go to the loser side, because that's when every loss means you're out of the tournament. The first 4 players that we see lose in this first round here, they still have one more chance. If they win their next match in the loser side, they're in top 8, so they still have a chance. But starting after this next match here, every match is going to be an elimination match. But before we get to that point, again, Infiltration and Hot Dog. Let's see what the players have to say.
From Infiltration side, Jury is back. You are welcome. Good luck, my friends. And again, Jury has been the main character from Infiltration for quite a while, right? Seeing how Infiltration was dominating the scene in Street Fighter 4 and then coming back into Street Fighter 5, he's been practicing very much so with said Jury and a handful of other characters. But I feel like Jury has been the main choice for his current season. Let's take a look at what Hot Dog had to say in response.
Says, this is my first time playing Infiltration in tournament. He's a good senpai, senior, but I will do my best. But I will do my best.
I see. Very well spoken,
now,
Hot Dog.
It's interesting here because, we've been talking about how, the tiers of Street Fighter V have really compressed a lot. And, a lot of the characters have the capability to win, correct? So you are a Jury player, right? So that is one of your main characters here. Where do you feel like Jury falls here? I know I think I've asked you this on CPT before, but I'm just curious to see where you think she falls necessarily, or like on the tier list.
I feel like she's kind of stuck in the middle, right? Her tools and her fuzzy game, her normals are pretty solid. I'm going to give her that. But I feel like her damage output isn't as significant. Her comeback factor with the V-Trigger isn't as significant, right? She does have the Feng Shui engine with V-Trigger 1. She also has a way to absorb your critical art or your EX gauge with V-Trigger 2. Both of those haven't been seriously, there hasn't been really significant triggers to kind of bring the tide back, because with Feng Shui engine, you can just block it. You could just block a plethora of that. The more she ends up using her strings, the more of her gauge depletes, right?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the neutral game with Jury. She has fantastic range on something like a medium kick. She has great bufferable normals as well. She gets a knockdown. Sure, then what happens, right? She kind of falls short in the damage game, but I feel like her neutral is pretty strong, being able to store all of her kicks as well. But that's the thing. You have to get her started in order for her to be a significant threat.
Right, and that's always one of the trickiest things. She's one of those characters that when she knocks you down, she has to charge up things. She has to sacrifice a lot of times the pressure. Now, on the other side, M. Bison. Another one of those characters that I feel kind of like Cammy, that has just kind of always been really, really strong on the precipice of that top. A lot of people said that he was probably top 5 last year, last season as well. And, he did, obviously, the Psycho Axe became a little bit more whiff punishable. But for the most part, he's not that much, he hasn't been touched that much. And Hot Dog, remember, took that NA West tournament last year. I'm sorry, was that 2 years ago now? Oh my,
2 years ago. It's been 2 years ago, James. To be fair, we've canceled out 2020.
Yeah, so we'll call it last year virtually, basically. True. But obviously a very, very strong player as well, using a very strong character. Did as Rob and Brian F. pointed out, was able to take out Problem X in one of the tournaments there. So Bison is another one.
And that was the NA
characters.
qualifier.
Right, yeah.
That happened in Vegas.
Right.
Like, we were all there. We were watching that happen.
And that character, M. Bison, is just one of those characters that I think doesn't get talked about a lot. Like, obviously, last year, everyone was talking about Seth, and then there was Urian and Rashid, but Bison and Cammy were both there. And now I feel like at this point in time, you know, there's a lot to be said about characters like Cammy. Obviously, a lot of people talking about that, but even so, I feel like Cammy is almost kind of driving some of the focus away from M. Bison.
Right, I see.
You know?
I see. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. It does kind of make sense, right? Bison is still a character that you really have to understand the matchup against and really try to use his tools against him, because he can be quite the monster in neutral, as well as having that V-trigger loaded. He does have the options to get some of that damage going and consistently pile it on and push it to the corner and just really, really just get rid of that life bar very quickly. But we'll see how it plays out. Honestly, it's going to be Jury versus Bison between Infiltration and Hot Dog.
Yeah, how do you feel about that matchup in particular?
You know, I think Jury does have the tools to kind of contest Bison from those kind of ranges and be able to whiff punish significantly. But after that, I feel like it all depends on whether or not Bison's going to close the gap quick so that she does not get started up. But I want to see, it really depends too on what kind of V skills are being used for both characters, right? I want to see what happens if Hot Dog is going to use V skill 2. That's really going to change it up for Jury, as well as like what Jury is going to be, what Infiltration is going to use for V skills, right? I want to kind of see this dynamic happen, because if you're thinking about it, Bison with V skill 2 can really damper a lot of Jury's game plan with being able to charge up in neutral, or at least charge up and get away, right? She's going to rely on getting any sort of knockdown into a charge up situation or dash up for Oki, and then sacrifice that, do like a light chain into like one of the Fuhaden stores. That's not going to do a lot, right? It's not going to do as much pressure, but we'll see what happens, right? We're going to see how Infiltration navigates this character, because I'm seeing it from a Ultra Diamond perspective.
Right. And one of the things too, you know, you can talk about where Jury falls in tier lists and everything like that, but you know, we are talking about a player like Infiltration, obviously always has a history of being one of the strongest players here, and
without a doubt,
being able to make characters look stronger than they are. Frankly, so
we've seen that time and time again. This man can play a slew of characters without a doubt. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this match is going to play out between Infiltration and Hot Dog. And Hot Dog has been using Bison strictly, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't think there's any choice, and I mean, I don't think there's any other characters for him. And again, we've talked about Bison and how strong he is. Might not be a reason to use any other character, frankly.
That's fair.
Yeah. And what's interesting about, you know, I'm curious to see, obviously, I feel like Hot Dog's use of Bison's V-Trigger 2 is one of the best. Like, he has some
It is so good. Him and Problem X have the most creative V-Trigger 2 uses on the planet.
But that's one of the things that makes Bison such a neat character. They've done a good job with a lot of the new characters that they've added in here so far, like with Dan, for example, and with Seth, and you know, before that. But like, Bison's one of those characters that all the V triggers, all the V skills are really valid depending on the matchup, and so it's nice that he has that ability to choose the different kinds of tools that he can to fight the matchups in different ways.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be considering what V skills and what V triggers to use. I mean, to be honest with Jury, I feel like Infiltration isn't going to be the kind of individual to risk any sort of experimentation with V Trigger 2. It did get buffed for this season. You are able to get your stores immediately after the activation, allowing for better combo routes, better damage, more consistent damage, which allows her to be within that realm of comeback factor V triggers, right? But it's not significant enough. So I think Feng Shui Engine will be the choice. We're just making our speculations here. With Jury, I think it's going to be skill 1, trigger 1, and with Hot Dog, I feel like it's going to be V skill 2, V trigger 2.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was about to say, because like you said, being able to use V skill 2 to teleport to the other side, remember, after you block those knees, he's +2. So he gets in for free. So if Jury gets a screen away and tries to charge up and he activates that, she may have to block it, forced to block it, unless she wants to spend the EX meter. But otherwise, she's forced to block it and have to be negative at that point in time. So we'll see how this plays out. Let's see what our competitors decide to go with here.
And of course, you don't want to miss any of the action, right? Do you see what's coming up for sets on Monday? Mena RD versus Shine?
Look,
that's going to be sick.
I love Mena RD, right? There's no question how much I love Mena RD, but I also love me some NYC Shine.
Oh, man, the $3 shape up, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. He is one of the most creative players, uses all the different characters. But here we go. Hot Dog 29 going up against Infiltration.
Ah, I see. So take a look at this, right? Infiltration using V-Skill 2, trigger 1.
Right.
And Hot Dog using V-Skill 1, trigger 2. 50%, all right?
All right.
Can't win them all.
All right, so here we go. Oh, look at this. Already using the V-Shift, but actually put Jury too far away. So I think Infiltration tried to punish with just a light punch, and it wasn't far enough to get the hit. And here we go. Towards the corner.
And I like that pressure afterwards. Just walk up jab to see what kind of reaction he would get against Hot Dog. But it is a meaty, so either way, it's going to be safe pressure.
Wow, just chasing down the backdash with the side. But look at this, the wake-up V-Shift. Already seeing some classic V-Shift use. And now backing away, charging up here, sending out the disc. Oh, just walked into it. And here we go. Back
Wanted
throw.
to eliminate the threat, I guess.
Oh, he tried to sneak in instead of the Psycho Axe. He tried to sneak in, but Infiltration all ready to go. Look. Oh!
Yeah, I tried to go for the instant overhead, but while in V-trigger, you could still land and go for the cross-up.
But good on Hot Dog to realize that that was a thing and not think, I have a free punish, and then just get hit.
Right, yeah.
Wow. Caught with the surprise. Crouch. Did he charge up in time? Like, he dashed crouching midi kick, and I feel like he late canceled that just to make sure he had the charge. I can't believe he got the scissor kick out in time. Was the V-trigger?
We did see, so he did throw out a stand jab to buy himself a little bit of extra time. But yeah, V-Skill 1 is the V-Skill of choice for Hot Dog for these particular moments. Yeah, the fireballs, right?
Yep.
I was thinking maybe he would have V-Skill 2'd, but I think there's also risk behind that, right? If Jury's going to charge in the corner or something like that, and he ends up giving away positioning off of a V-Skill 2 that doesn't hit, I totally understand that from Hot Dog, being risk-averse with the V-Skill 1. Oh, boy.
What was he trying? That was kind of a Hail Mary right there with the slide.
And do you see how much meter Infiltration has to spend to get that much damage and push Hot Dog to the corner, right? She has to build all of that back
and
up.
Now, look how much space she has to give up just to charge up those Fuhajins as well.
What an interruption from Infiltration, using the stand jab, big counter hit, but not big enough. Hot Dog is still moving forward.
I love that jump back heavy kick that was able to challenge the jump as well. Wow, caught out of the air with the raw Psycho Crusher, and that's close enough to be able to get the combo after the Psycho Axe. And there we go, and I love the dash forward and the throw after the V-shift. You feel like the opponent's in a defensive position, but, instead, turning it around and going immediately on the offense.
Oh, yeah, just within range to get the whiff punish, and you're going to get the critical art.
Yeah, there you go. One round apiece here for Hot Dog and Infiltration.
It's looking of like shades of old from Infiltration, playing that keep away style, exactly why he wants to play Jury, getting those stores and kind of annoying the opponent. And it's going to be very interesting to see because Infiltration has had the life lead, a significant one, at like majority of these rounds, these 2 rounds, right? So we'll see what happens. Not going for the medium kick store yet. Gets the V-skill store instead. Yep. Okay.
And that's the trick, right? Every time Infiltration smells any sort of indecision, he gets the opportunity to charge one of those things up. Here we go. Ooh, the shimmy. Goes for the throw this time. So shimmy into throw. Those are the back-to-back options he's chosen so far. That is minus, but Infiltration doesn't try to take the turn. That is definitely plus for Hot Dog. Look at this pressure from Hot Dog. What a nice jump back timing.
He was just waiting for it, biding his time in this corner.
Goes for the throw, but Hot Dog jumps away. And here we go, the activation. Too far away for the throw, not the second time.
Yeah, I think he was still stuck in block stun with that fireball coming through.
Yeah, Hot Dog doesn't want to have anything to do with that V-skill too. But look at this, here we go. Conversion, damage, backdash to avoid the throw.
Not far enough. You're still going to get within range for that throw. And Infiltration again with the life lead, backing away, getting the... He hasn't stored the medium kick yet, right? He's gone for V-skill, for fireball, and medium kick has been like the main moneymaker for... No. Oh boy, yeah, you're fine. You don't get punished.
It's not punishable, but yeah, here we go. Now look at this. 12 seconds. And this is what Infiltration, remember Season 1 Street Fighter V, this is what Infiltration would do with Nash a lot of the times. And he knew Hot Dog was going to jump and just covered the bottom of the screen with the fireball, the air with the jumping light punch, which sticks out for a decent amount of time there. Really smart decision to cover both angles and read the desperation from Hot Dog because of the timer. And so nice read right there.
And what's pretty interesting is that Hot Dog, there was a moment in time where forced Infiltration into this corner, had at least like a 35% life lead, still kept going in until that one moment Infiltration got a solid jump in the corner, anticipating an EX scissor kick. And it all went downhill. This is the kind of player you're up against. This man has been in the ring and has been stuck in the corner in many games before. He will fight it out of there.
It's just one of those things. I mean, you see it happen when people, when they feel like they're getting their offense going, they overextend themselves, and that's basically what.
Case.
Yeah, it happens so often to players. They just get this offense and they feel invincible for a second.
Does get the punish. Hot Dog now in pursuit.
All right,
gets the back throw. Psycho Axe incoming. No V-shift that time. Infiltration just willing to take it. Activation route after the pinwheel. Not pinwheel, excuse me.
Oh, but nice throw tech from Hot Dog. Getting that read there, but here we go. Feng Shui engine activated, and then using that time to charge up, and the disc going to prevent the forward movement from Hot Dog.
Oh, that's more than enough.
Yeah. Now, could he have extended that combo without the super right there, or was that the end of the combo? Because he was so close to stun.
Yeah, I mean, he did have like the roundhouse kick stored and was in V-trigger, but he was too low to the ground to get any sort of juggle after that. Maybe he could have probably done, like, whilst in V-trigger, still maybe go for, like, the medium kick.
The spacing right there. That's the second time he's gotten that EX scissor kick to whiff like that. Then also expecting Hot Dog to dash forward and try to chase out of the air.
He's still within range to anti-air. Great uppercut choice there from Infiltration. The judgment.
Yeah, Hot Dog was trying to stay as far back and now said, you know what, you're going to V-skill this. Infiltration coming in and punishing that. And the trade combos?
I don't even know if that traded. I think I just pushed Jury back a little bit with that V-skill. I couldn't tell. I didn't see any red from the side of Infiltration.
Again, just you see this building up. As all the resources built up, you can see the flashing V-skill too. Hot Dog with 2 slides chasing down now, but he's got to watch out because remember, he tried to go. That's a stun. That's a stun. This is going to be big damage here. How much meter does he choose to spend? Does he choose to do everything? No, he's saving it for the next round. He is being so brave right now. Activation. He wants to keep the resources. We often say just spend it, take the round, but he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Oh boy. You may come to regret this, Hot Dog.
This is a very intense situation. Infiltration does have trigger loaded, is building a little bit of resources for himself as he moves on towards Hot Dog. This is kind of tough.
And there goes all that meter. See, had he had just gone for the meter, he would have won, but instead...
Oh, no.
Man.
Don't get thrown.
Yeah, just let him. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, so actually pays off for Hot Dog, but you see right there, he spent all of his meter just to do that. Had he just gone for the super, it would have been the same thing, almost kind of same situation.
Right, the amount of meter that Hot Dog built from blocking and taking a little bit of damage wasn't even that significant. Right. At 87 seconds, does have 1 bar, but still, you know, I feel like he could have built it either way.
All right. Again! Oh, so that's the thing. Hot Dog wants to dash forward and then chase the jump back with the air-to-air. A lot of times people think they're jumping back and they're safe, but Infiltration has had the awareness to do the heavy kick both times and keep Hot Dog from chasing him. Ooh, chases the backdash. Stealing turns. Here we go. Plus frames again. So Infiltration says, you know what? I don't want to deal with those plus frames. I'm going to V-reversal.
Extra pressure with those plus frames. Really stealing turns now with those roundhouses.
And I love the dash out there, but then he dashed back in to get hit. And so now Infiltration is going to just spend all of his V gauge right there on the V reversals instead. Oh. First time he's gone for a throw after the stand light punch. Before he's always been light punch, light punch, light punch.
Being very ambiguous with the movement, has to make that sweep safe. Does block the V reversal.
He challenged after the plus frames of the standing heavy kick.
Oh my gosh.
And it pays off for Infiltration. Now Hot Dog, but he's got that Psycho Crusher. But Infiltration has done a good job staying out of the range, making the Psycho Crusher whiff. The Fireball's still coming.
You still contested with something like a stand jab. And I do like that because Hot Dog could have gone to any other normal to initiate a frame trap, but Infiltration willing to make that challenge happen. Stand jab 2 times over, enough to get a combo, and that was enough to seal the game.
Yeah, and the beautiful confirm on the 2 lights as well. One of those, skills we always talk about, being able to, hit confirm and do all these things, but, hit confirming 2 lights into a special move to get that combo in those scramble situations, because you hit those light punches a lot in scramble situations, and be able to convert that into something like that and to get the round-winning, game-winning, match-winning combo is really one of those small skills that players need to have that isn't talked about enough, I feel like.
Yeah. And that's got to be a really frustrating game, to be honest, when you're Hot Dog, because you're chasing Jury, you're chasing Infiltration across corner to corner, but that's the thing. That's just the kind of player Infiltration is. He's been doing that since he's been a pro.
Yeah, there's a lot of players out there that have that ability, that even when they have a life deficit, they can, the way they play just kind of makes you want to chase them. Like Justin Wong is one of the first one that comes to my mind. I've seen so many matches where he plays Manat and he's down in life and the enemy just keeps walking into standing heavy punches all day.
Why? What does it happen? There's something hypnotic about the way they play.
Right.
I think I could close the round, right? No. That's just the bait. That's bait.
And it's interesting because all you saw Infiltration doing was charge up, throw out the disc, charge up, throw out a fireball, charge up, and that got Hot Dog enough to want to try to come in and do some damage. Didn't work out, but there you go. So it is indeed going to be 2 Koreans, 2 Taiwanese players in the top 8. These 4 players are done for the day, and they will come back tomorrow for the top 8 here for Asia East.
Let's take a look at the losers bracket if we can, because as it stands in Winner's Corners, it's been nothing but 2 zeros. Right, we want to see a little bit more action, starting with round 1 as we see Human Bomb and BPH get ready for their games. But as you can see, the rest of them, you see Hot Dog also in round 2, Punko in round 2, RB and Oil King for those second rounds. But we have so many more games to go.
And one of the it's crazy because Human Bomb, he's another one of those players that has been playing fighting games forever. Evo top 8 in Street Fighter 4, and yet somehow people don't speak his name a lot. And he's always been one of the strongest players from the East region. I mean, at one point in time, living in Australia, and actually, is he there right now? I can't.
I'm not
remember.
sure. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Human Bomb is just one of those players that you don't see get talked about enough, in my opinion, because he's so strong. No shock to see him here in the top 16. He's just always been such a solid player year after year after year. So really glad to see him here competing in this top 16.
Right, and then BPH coming from South Korea, rocking Sakura, maybe Lucia, has been around the block. Mr. Hips has been doing phenomenal work. Phenomenal work with said characters. Primarily Sakura has been very, very consistent in his region, and you guys have seen the name. Once you see the name, you'll understand what I mean, because this guy has been showing up to a good amount of events and has been taking some pretty notable names down with him.
Yeah, BPH, which stands for battles per hour, right? So
yeah, this guy does not stop.
He's trying to maximize the battles per hour. Let's see what the players themselves have to say about this. You see right here, I will do my best with Chun-Li, says Human Bomb. Yeah, and he's played a lot of Chun-Li in the past as well, and there it is, going to be sticking with this character. Another one of those characters that I remember last season was considered very strong early on. Still considered strong at this point, and can't wait to see what Human Bomb's going to do with this, with the Chun-Li.
Let's see what BPH had to say getting into his match. I have Shinji 840. Shinji 840 eliminated all strong players in the pool instead of me.
Look, dude, I love the profile pic that he sent. He is ready to troll as much as possible to take out everybody.
And, it's a valid point. He's like, I feel like I got to this point because someone else did the job for me, and I'm just going to continue that streak. That's cool. That's one way to do it. And, hey, whatever works, go for it, man.
Saying that Shinji did all the work for Mr. Hip there.
Mr. Hips.
Exactly. And so it is going to be Human Bomb versus BPH coming up in this next match. And, really curious to see what BPH is going to go with. And again, this is going to be a Hong Kong versus South Korea. We already saw, as we mentioned, Hot Dog from Hong Kong. He's been sent to losers bracket right now. And actually, I think he's going to be on the same side as Human Bomb as well, now that I think about it. So whoever wins, if Human Bomb wins this, he may have to go up against Hot Dog right away with a Hong Kong matchup. But of course, BPH going to do his best to not even have to have that happen.
We'll see.
Taking him out.
We'll see. I'm actually very curious as to who Mr. Hips is going to be playing as, and it's going to be Lucia.
We got the Lucia. Here we go. Interesting. Okay. And I did not see which trigger and skill, but for the most part, there is only V skill 1. There has been a lot of debate in the Lucia community about which trigger to use, and it is going to be V trigger 2 for BPH.
Already off to a very solid start. BPH going in for the jump and reacting to Human Bomb's fireball at a closer range.
And here we go. Throw in the corner, and this is, oh man, just going to go. Oh, he went for another one. You can see that he went for it.
Yes, sir.
And right there, confirming into the crumple to get the running V skill. One of the best ways for Lucia to get some Oki on a knockdown.
And this is kind of dangerous. Continue the combo, and yes, sir. Gets the Oki situation. That's very important for Lucia. Getting himself the first round, Mr. Hip.
Yeah,
showing
Lucia
great work with the trigger.
Is one of those characters that once she gets in and once she knocks you down, she is terrifying. Her close-up buttons, great frames. One of the only characters that can do 2 light attacks into a throw without a micro walk.
Closest on, yeah, try to create some space for himself. Human Bomb still got clipped. Anyway, here comes BPH.
And obviously the advantage of that 2-bar trigger. Going to get it a lot earlier in the fight, getting out of there with that sweep. That sweep is improved. One of the fastest sweeps in the game now. 8-frame
really?
sweep. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And I like this. It's been very close quarters for both so far. Human Bomb, again, kind of getting matched up for normals here, but Human Bomb still has, again, that poke, the crouching medium punch poke from BPH.
You thought you could punish the sweep, but you can cancel into that V trigger too. And
the classic. BPH, blood pressure's high. That's exactly what that was. This man had you sweating. You thought it was your turn. Think again. Heart attack mode.
Yeah, that was
dashes
nice.
Up and steals it.
Yeah, the EX burn kick -2, so you can use it kind of as a auto shimmy there, especially in the corner. If you connect it, you get some good juggles off that, and you know it was enough to take the round over there. So good stuff to him.
He dashed up into his face. EX flame kick. Come on, man.
Now, one of the interesting things about this matchup is last season, Chun-Li's back heavy punch really blew up a lot of what Lucia wanted to do because of the priority system and the lack of range from Lucia. But now that move is far more whiff punishable now, so it's a lot scarier to throw that out.
The thing is, I feel like Human Bomb hasn't even been in position to even try that tactic out, right? She's been hovering around like the mediums, the further out fierces, roundhouses, etc., and within fireball range so that the slide isn't a factor from Lucia, right? But still.
Yeah, that couldn't have been an intentional bird kick right there. Just a regular bird kick, but then got the EX afterwards. Trade. Oh! Yeah, activate, goes in for the pressure, and this is where she's so scary. Safe on block. And that is one of the advantages.
Oh, are you kidding me?
When was the last time we've seen that just hit like that? But it actually caught BPH out of a normal.
That was max distance. I thought Human Bomb was in danger. I thought that would have been like on the same side, but very calculated from the side of Human Bomb.
BPH gonna take it cool over here, puts on the shades. Oh, punish, yep. The tricky thing about that is the block stun on that is kind of weird, but nice backdash into heavy punch.
I like that, using the V-skill ender to get a little bit of V-gauge on deck. Another suplex. Another suplex.
Oh, but this time waking up with the crouching light kick, and here we go. Time for Human Bomb to try to... I'm not sure what that was about right there. Maybe just a side switch? Was that all that was?
Possibly.
Oh, that was definitely not a counter hit combo. Wake up buttons!
No meaties to be had from BPH. That's the second time.
Oh,
EX uppercut did off me, but here comes...
Oh gosh, can he combo off of that? No! He thought he had it, but did he think he had the meter for the EX?
I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did have the meter on the way over.
And he just missed, perhaps. Ooh, that is a rough one right there. Obviously, the EX much faster than the regular lightning kick. No anti-air again, just letting VPH jump in for free.
Oh, that could have been dangerous. Yeah, you can't punish the sweep so long as trigger is there. If it's activated, you know a cancel's happening.
Oh, and here we go. Like I said, she's so scary here. This is going to be a stun. Now, she's not going to get a lot of damage off of this because there's a lot of scaling here. But does the reset into the throw. And not only do we get a Lucia in the top 16, the Lucia player, BPH, advancing forward on the loser side, taking out Human Bomb.
That reset was dirty.
Yeah.
I feel disgusted just watching that. That was dirty. That was a do or die situation, right? You were not allowed to take the throw in that situation. There was just not enough life left. But that's the perfect time to sneak in that reset. That was perfect.
And one of the cool things about this is, you know, there's in the Lucia community, there is a lot of debate, and a lot of people say that V-Trigger 1 is the only one to go to, and there's some players out there that have been experimenting with V-Trigger 2, and that's actually started getting some of the other Lucia players to try it, and they're like, actually, it's not that
The world's a big place, man. There's a lot of information out there. There's no way it could just be like, this is the answer, right? I feel like the same way with certain characters like Jury, is like somebody out there is using Trigger 2 and is destroying a bunch of warlords out there, right? BPH is doing the same thing with Lucia, making sure that V-Trigger 2 is the way to go. He's preaching the gospel that is V-Trigger 2, and by means of sweep into activation or sweep into using the baton, right?
And again, one of the tricky things about that too is really how much practice do you feel like Human Bomb has against Lucia players?
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Because like nowadays, if we fight a Karin and she uses V-Trigger 2 and she sweeps, we're like, okay, here comes the counter. You know, you kind of get that knowledge there. But when you're fighting against a Lucia, you haven't seen that a lot. Both of those times, Human Bomb got punished with that. Probably the idea that the baton could frame trap like that wasn't even in his head.
No, not at all. Yeah, that's you see a sweep and your mind is like, interesting. I'm gonna hit you, I guess. No, whap. You're actually smoked. You're smoked.
Exactly. So there you go. BPH taking that one on the loser side, advancing forward. So you can see he is indeed going to prevent the Hong Kong matchup, and he's going to be going up against Hot Dog 29 in the loser side. And we will see that match later today because, as you see, we need to get through that round 2 to get to the top 8 on loser side.
Yeah. And as we get ready, we're going to see Minute Maid Orange going up against Fake Crab. Minute Maid Orange coming from South Korea. Rocking Karen a lot lately from what I've seen on stream, but does have a pocket Cammy. Again, one of the potential Cammies from our list of players. Fake Crab as well. Rocking Cammy.
So Taiwan. Could we have a Cammy mirror here?
Maybe.
Is there a potential for a Cammy mirror?
I would say it's a high possibility. But as of late, I saw Minute Maid Orange. I think he's still streaming now, as a matter of fact.
Streaming is
run.
Right?
Streaming is run. And possibly using Karen. There was a lot of Karen being played, but we'll see if it's going to be Cammy versus Cammy.
How cool is that, by the way, now that players, when they're playing these online matches, these tournaments, they can just stream their run?
That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
I love watching Brian F. do his runs as well for like NLBC and how he's accidentally won one. That's actually pretty funny. That YouTube video is great. Let's take a look at what the players had to say. Minute Maid Orange and Fake Crab going into it. Minute Maid Orange says, I want to make top 8, so I know that advancing from the loser side of the bracket is going to take all of my best effort.
All right, just talking about it straight up, just telling you how it is out there. Yeah, going from the loser side, of course, is always going to be the hardest one. Starting here, you need to win 2 matches to get into the top 8. This is only going to be the first one. Let's see what Fake Crab has to say. And Fake Crab says, I felt like the strongest player in my pool was Asia Godtone. GamerB's luck is good because he hasn't met me yet. Whoa.
Do you see how he's already aiming for somebody way up there and has to really consider where he's at in this in the route, right?
This man would not get up to let the old man sit on the bus. He went straight after the old man right there. He saw GamerB standing there, and like GamerB's like, "Ooh, my leg feels kind of shaky right now." And he was like, "Nope, I've got my seat on the bus. I'm chilling here. You haven't met me yet."
The front seats on the bus are reserved for the elderly. There are there's like little seats on the side, right? You got to get up and make sure they get a seat. This guy was just like, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm chilling here."
Fake Crab.
Not a real crab. Not a real crab, but a fake one.
Going after Gamerby
for
right?
no reason. For no
He's not
reason.
even going up against Gamerby.
I gotta see. I have to see what the route was for Fake Crab. There's got to be something there. There's got to be some sort of salt there. Maybe Gamerby sent him to losers. I didn't get to see it beforehand, the full run, because there's so many players to go through.
Whoa! There's 0 camis on the
What is
screen.
going on? Was I lied to? Was I lied to?
I mean,
at least the Karen choice was correct with Minute Maid Orange, but
right,
with
but
Fake Crab,
you ate the crab and you're like, this is real crab, right?
This is
but it turned
imitation.
out to be fake crab.
Imitation Cami still strong, but just not the same flavor.
And here we go. It is going to be. This looks like a matchup from like maybe 2 years ago here, 2 or 3 years ago. Like a Punk versus Tokido match here. But right now, Minute Maid Orange is trying to say no, but I'm going to reverse the evil results and I am going to blow up Akuma.
Looking in great shape already. That is a prime orange ready for picking, but Fake Crab still trying to pass the inspection. Plus frames afterwards. V-Skill does not want to be a part of that.
He just went for the overhead. He was just determined to do that and didn't even see the jump into air fireball. This is bad. This could go. Oh, I love that dash.
Yeah, that was a great response, honestly.
Yeah.
He could have done any sort of like command dash through it, honestly.
Yep, and there you go. So, take the throw is the right option most of the time when you're in the middle of the screen against characters like Karin and Cammy. However, when you're about to die, then it becomes less of a weighted RPS, and that's it. You just gotta guess at that point.
And I was waiting for that. See, from further out, Fake Crab was susceptible to the EX Tenko.
Oh, no, it was too far away.
Far.
Could have let the command dash rock just a little bit longer.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the just frame, but you would still get damage. All right, okay, does get it within range of that low medium kick. Now Minute Maid Orange in hot pursuit, checking the lows again. There is the activation from the sweep from Fake Crab.
Tries to dash forward and steal that throw over there. Nice tech from Minute Maid Orange. And here we go.
This is more than enough to do it. EX Mujin Kyuk just in case.
Can I tell you how much I appreciate the variety
of oranges,
of products?
Yeah, this guy is consistent.
He's got Minute Maid Orange and he's Del Monte Orange up there. At some point in time, he's going to sign up as a tournament as Simply Orange.
Possibly. I mean, at one point, there's going to be Tropicana. If he enters a tournament in Florida, he's going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. He should go to Vegas and then go to the Tropicana, and then he can enter as a Tropicana
That's
Orange.
true.
Right,
That's
there.
very true. Prime time for Evo. We'll see what happens. Again, Orange has been in great shape the entire time. 2 rounds straight, really understanding the nuances of the Akuma matchup. We see Fake Crab kind of throwing out some fireballs in very unsafe ranges, right? In the beginning, it was fine. Throwing it out mid-screen, kind of checking outside of medium kick range. That's the kind of range that's really tough for Karen players to really judge when to do EX Tenko through, right? Once it was further out, it was all over. Orange was already in hot pursuit, really hammering it down.
You can see in this delay here, I think we're getting a character change here. I think we're probably returning to the lobby, and we're probably going to get the Cammy here this time. That character looks nothing like Cammy.
I don't think so. You know what's funny? Still within top 5. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Now I'm the Fake Crab. Here we go. Fake Crab already starting things off with a crouching medium punch, checking the ranges at what Karen wants to play. But you know what's scary about that is Karen has some pretty good tools to buffer with, right? Stand medium punch being one of them.
It's interesting because I wonder if there's actually just something from Fake Crab that he just doesn't like Karen versus Cammy. I did believe Karen had an advantage in that matchup, like maybe 3 years ago, but like not anymore, I don't feel like.
I feel like she does just fine against Karen. Oh, yeah, from that range. Ooh, the damage tacking it on. EX uppercut.
Look at this, man. Karen just running all over Abigail right now. But here we go, the activation. We've seen so much. Oh, caught him trying to jump away from that. Trade with the cross-up. What? He interrupted it. No fear at all.
None.
From Orange.
And I'm liking this, yeah, the stalemate.
Punish. That was a small punish, but used it to set up the shimmy right there. Good enough. It's going to take it.
Oh, yeah, you saw. There it is. The big buffered normal stand medium punch. Fake Crab was trying to outpoke Minute Maid Orange in that instance, but again, that's a very active normal to cancel out of.
Yeah, you can see right there using the V-shift, especially with a 3-bar V-trigger character. That says a lot right there. And then the V-reversal. He's given up on the trigger. That's it. He can't get a trigger this round anymore, so he's got to use this for reversals and shifts.
I don't know, man. He could probably block a couple more, but...
The confirm, and there it is. Simply Orange is going to take it over Fake Crab. You know what? You ain't got a chance to meet Gamer B. That is what happens when you disrespect your elders. That is what happens right there.
That was sick.
Simply Orange. I'm sorry, Minute Maid Orange taking it.
Del Monte Orange.
Del
Tropicana Orange. My man threw that out there, counter hit. Nah, I'm going to just whoop. Double quarter circle forward punches. That was...
You know what?
Mwah.
I tell you, as a player, whenever you land one of those, it feels good.
It's so
good.
satisfying.
It feels so good.
It's like a fresh glass of orange juice right in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That is refreshing.
As you know, Street Fighter 4 Kami players getting the counter hit crouching heavy punch into Ultra 1, that was always like one of the best right there. So
that was good.
Oh man,
that was very good.
Yeah.
Minute Maid Orange moving on into round 2 of the loser side. Let's see who remains. Unfortunately, Fake Crab has been figured out. And we see there.
Yep, it's going to be Minute Maid Orange versus Punko, so that is going to be an all-Korea battle. Again, you know, at this point, you know, we have so very few, we only just have 30 regions here representing, and so they're going to be, we're going to have a lot of those country versus country matches like that.
Yeah, and so it sets us up for our next matchup, which is going to be after this break. It's going to be names that we are not too familiar with, right? QHDWN, and then Yo-Yo Tai we've heard of just a handful of times, right? And that's going to be happening after this break. But again, we have established our first 2 matches from the loser side. Again, Human Bomb has been eliminated. Fake Crab has been eliminated as well. Who will remain to face off in round 2?
We're going to find out after this break. So, guys, don't go anywhere. Stick around. More top 16 action CPT coming up soon.
Back after the ultimate improvement. Father! Psycho! What's up, what's up? See ya! Psycho! The legend has now begun. Burn this in your memory! Psycho! Whoosha! To honor Father, Big Bro will do his best.
Welcome back, everybody, to CPT Asia East #1 here on the Capcom Pro Tour. We've already gone through half of the first round of the loser side, and we're going to keep moving forward with some players that, again, most of us aren't as familiar with, but that's one of the cool things about having all these regions is we do get to see more players step up and shine.
Yeah, one of those players being QHDWN going up against Yo-Yo Tai, right? Before we left off in the break, we did show you a glimpse of the bracket. Hopefully, we can take a look at it again to see how things have turned out over in the loser side, right? 2 O's across the board. Not even just here, but up above as well. But we'll see if that streak continues. QHDWN, a Warlord Cammy, had to face off, I guess, I forgot who it was. I think it was Lun Lun that he had to face off against. That was an Ultimate Grandmaster Cammy as well in a Cammy mirror match. There was a ton of Cammies, and it was within the same pool as Punko, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a very interesting showdown to see. I know Cien was broadcasting that match and doing match analysis on that. Right. So very curious to see. Yo-Yo Tai as well, rocking R Mika. So we're going to expect Cammy versus R Mika for the most part.
Okay, and yeah, I mean, again, you know, Cammy definitely doing some damage in this tournament. We have 2 potentially going up against each other on the winner's side already. So let's see if we have another Cammy coming through here. So let's see what the players have to say about this. And it says, looks like Yo-Yo Tai says, finally reached top 16, but I still need to fight Cammy. And, you know, like, it's funny that I had brought that up because here we go. This is definitely one of the themes. And it feels like to me, the Asia region just must be inundated with these Cammys because they're all, RB talked about it in his quote. And, you know, but I still need to implies that Yo-Yo Tai has probably fought like 7 of them already in this tournament or something.
And it's not going to stop, honestly, I feel like. So we'll see what happens. QHDWN, witness me.
Witness me.
I like that. A lot of people were saying in various chats are like, when they saw this name on CFN, or at least playing in their run of CPT, we're like, is that Verloren? Is that Verloren's secret account? And fact of the matter is, Verloren did not enter the tournament. But really? from what has been said, it's been said consistently throughout multiple chats, and I was looking at it, I'm like, all right, well, I didn't see the name. But QHDWN, Warlord Cammy, has been demolishing the opposition. So, I mean, granted, they are on loser side, but we'll see what happens, man. This guy's a pretty strong player.
And one of the important things to note, I mean, we saw this discussion between Rob TV and Brian F during the pre-show about online tournaments, about do online tournaments count, et cetera, But, you know, bringing it back to that kind of topic, Warlord Cammy means that you know this environment and you are honed for this online environment and they are playing online. This is the kind of player that will probably not, you know, if any sort of internet hiccups, he'd probably brush it off, or he knows how to take advantage of, you know, online tactics.
But what if you play against another Warlord, though?
Well, then it's hard, yeah. And of
like
course,
like a Warlord Armika or something of that caliber.
But catching the crouch right there with the dive kick means he gets the combo off the landing. Ooh, free drop kick in there already. Another one.
Yeah, and plus frames after that, so QH had to sit there and take that, but still goes for the shimmy, finds the stand heavy punch, and now locked into this corner is Yo-Yo Tai, trying to kind of... Okay, I was going to say, maybe clear for takeoff. Almost caught the EX
can't believe that
dive
kick. Wow, just did that right into the slide activation. That was interesting. But I like the choice of the V-break to get out of the corner against the Lady Mika. Those things have been so scary. Even when you guess right and block from the command throw, you're still minus. But the V-shift into the V-break will actually punish that.
Oh, yeah, I like that bait out from QH. Or excuse me, from Yo-Yo Tai, excuse me.
Now trying to walk down to the corner, and when you get that cross-up like that, especially when you're trying to walk them down, they're going to go for the back throw a lot because they want to maintain that corner pressure. It's one of those situations that you want to read throw more often than not. Here we go, the activation from Cammy, the jump dive kick. I was about to say it's such a threat, but not to Yo-Yo Tai. But here we go, gets the hit. That's going to be a lot of damage. It's not enough to kill. Yo.
QHDWN.
He definitely.
No fear in his heart.
He definitely double DWN on that wake up right there.
And not a single vowel to spare.
Oh, the wake up buttons. Again, no fear at all. But
I like that.
There's just no fear on the part of DWN right now.
Can we talk about the awareness of that low medium kick counter hit into activation, right? Being able to swing afterwards. Very good decision to make that fierce happen.
All right, goes for the pressure there, but escapes it, and there we go. Oh, but the damage on that.
Wingless Wayne. Taken off and cleared for landing on the same flight. Just immediately after. I like that usage of EX, right? Being very aware that Cammy will take to the skies eventually. You got to be keen on as to when it's going to happen.
Now, one thing I will say from QHDWN side of things right now, his consistency of dropping the drop kick, I feel like that right there actually just happened. Wow! Punished the... Oh, that's going to be negative on landing. Yeah, you got to deal with that.
Unfortunate.
Bad slide. Not sure what that was all about. Well, actually, just had the meter maybe? Just no activation?
No, he didn't have it. He didn't have it in time.
Okay, here we go. But guess what? Mix-up time, and you know what? There is no V-shift for you. Done.
Excellent choice. Yeah, the second time, or the first time we saw that was in the corner from QH. This time, Yo-Yo Tai 100% baiting it out in anticipation, right? He's like, all right, well, you're going to block my Lady Mika. That's going to be plus. I get that. You're going to try to get away from my throw. I could probably option select it. Let me just try this jump first. If this doesn't work out, then I might just go for a regular grab, right? So that was still a very good decision to be made from Yo-Yo Tai, knowing that V-shift was going to be an option.
And there you go. So first game to Yo-Yo Tai. Yeah, that was great angle on that dive kick right there, catching right on the shins, being safe. Wow, let's go for the hooligan option. Ooh, the throw option, I should say. Tries to go for a shimmy and a really late V-shift right there. Oh.
And I'm liking this so far from Yo-Yo Tai. Got a couple of hits here and there, but finally gets a combo, a solid combo with that.
Nice.
Two standing jabs.
Yeah, backdash to escape. And interesting awareness there from QHDWN to get that throw when he saw the whiff. And here we go, pressure, but Yo-Yo Tai wasn't scared to hit buttons, but it was too far away. We talked about the too light confirm, and I feel like he thought he was close enough to do the too light confirm, but the second one whiffed, and that actually gave QHDWN the chance to punish.
Looking really tough for Yo-Yo Tai right now, but QH is the one that's down in the game. Does have one round in game 2, but it's already locked. Mika to the corner, no response for the dropkick. And I like Yo-Yo Tai just kind of using that meter, just getting back to the neutral. But it's Cammy, man. She's gonna close the gap as soon as you start blocking. That's really tough.
Big damage, and actually hasn't even need to use any of that meter yet. Here we go, the mix-up.
No mix. No mix.
You still got to deal with that. Okay, yeah, I knew that. Oh, the crush. Here we go. And look at all that meter.
And yeah, did
she touch a button?
You hella press a button.
I touched the button. I touched the button. You touched the button. We all touched the button.
I might have not touched the button. I'm lying. I pressed crouch jab too. I pressed crouch jab too.
I saw that and I was like, oh no, she's negative. It's going to be pun. I definitely hit a button because that was my thought. Yo-Yo Tai spending all that meter to basically rob that round from QHWN.
Hey, we'll take it.
Oh, there's one of the buffs that she got 2 seasons ago. Now trapped in the corner. Yo-Yo Tai's got to find his way out.
Yeah.
Or maybe try to figure out a way to switch sides and get the V-trigger mix-ups going.
Yeah, you know QH at that range, he's looking for only one thing. He's looking for that escape route from Yo-Yo Tai for the punish on the way down.
Yep.
If Mika moves anywhere forward, right, it's going to be swinging with medium kick, exactly that, possibly a stand heavy punch. But again, QH is in that optimal range to really sense what Yo-Yo Tai is trying to do and hit. Oh, okay, well.
I just feel like Yo-Yo Tai was trying so hard. Oh, no, side switch. I thought maybe there would have been a side switch, but maybe was expecting a quick rise. Here we go, but no more V-trigger. All right, dash forward, loop. What's the mix-up? Goes for the meaty buttons, gets the anti-air. Got the counter hit. Got the counter hit with the standing light kick. We didn't get anything. The standing medium punch chopping her out of the air, not letting her jump. You see the jump backs from Yo-Yo Tai, expecting the dive kick to come at any point. There it is. And the shimmy.
And you know, that's That was fair. I mean, like Yo-Yo Tai was in that position to get thrown with that little life left, but the range is just a little bit out there, right? I mean, considering Cammy's walk speed, that could have been a throw just a little bit further in, but QH holding it down, stand heavy punch.
And what's interesting about that, a lot of times when people are watching this, they don't realize the reason why the shimmy is so powerful is because when you don't see the opponent swinging or attacking, or you don't hear the noises, the block noises, it feels like a throw. And so that's why that's why walking backwards works so well to bait out those throws like that.
That's why I play with my sound off, James.
There you go. You got the high-level strats here.
No, I just like my music.
Oh, that's fair. All right. Oh, again,
no
drop kicks.
contest, right? There's nothing.
Right.
There hasn't been a thing that QH has done to stop any of these drop kicks. I feel like Yo-Yo Tai, if he sees this more often, he should just keep going with it in neutral.
Well, it's interesting because you could go with it more in neutral, but then you don't want to get them aware of it as much, right?
I don't know, man. QH hasn't done anything to stop it so far, to be quite honest with you.
Oh!
Just within range this time.
Baits it out this time. Here we go. The big damage. A great start now for Yo-Yo Tai. Look at this pressure all the way in the corner, but the nice awareness, and look at the damage all of a sudden. Output from QHDWN.
Hovering outside that roundhouse, actually the medium kick range. Anticipating maybe a drop kick right this time around. Tries to dash in and stop, and just within range.
And guess what?
Giant
You're in
swing.
the corner. And now I've got all this space to back up. But the problem is Yo-Yo Tai does not have the meter for the V trigger just yet. There it is.
Doesn't need it. The stunner.
And I like that because it was a side switch. And now DWN has put himself in the corner. But here we go. Another side switch out of there. -2. Gotta careful of the jump. He's had the reactions for the wingless airplane. But not that time. He was caught dashing forward. The hooligan throw. Uh-oh. Nadeshko coming in.
Yeah, not as big as a threat if it's that far away, right?
Now, gotta watch out. No way to chip. Mika has no way to chip with all that meter. What did she hit? She just hit crouching medium kick in neutral, and Cammy just exploded. I didn't even see what it hit, but it was the perfect timing. You don't see a lot of rounds end like that, where two people are just to walk,
I think that was what, like I think I saw maybe like a stand medium punch startup from the side of QH.
I didn't see anything. I just
nice.
saw Cammy just lose, but you know what?
I do like that patience from Yo-Yo Tai, right? Just backing it up a little bit. There was an option for him to be in hot pursuit after Nadeshko was coming out, but he was like, you know what? That moment is past. I'm chilling. Low medium kick, very active. I'm taking that. That's pretty good. Very solid stuff from Yo-Yo Tai. One of the biggest fears has already been conquered. One of the Cammys down. Couple more to go, right?
But man, I gotta tell you though, like, talk about. That is the heart right there. When you're playing fighting games and you're walking back and forth in neutral and you're just sitting there and you're like, you know what? This just feels like the right time to hit crouching medium kick. Even though we are not in range to hit each other at all. Crouching medium kick, boom, win.
Pretty solid.
That is a read of the heart right there from Yo-Yo Tai, and he's gonna move on to face his fellow countryman RB in the next round. And again, we will see that match later today.
Right. As well, not until we get to Dirty 1M going up against Combo Strike. Dirty 1M coming from Taiwan, Combo Strike from Hong Kong. For Dirty, he's gonna be using Urian. Aptly named. I like that. Combo Strike using Guile. That could have easily been one of like Guile's moves. Maybe Combo Strike. No, I'm just kidding. But it's going to be Urian versus Guile as we might expect, right? From what the players have told us so far. I didn't really get to see that far into the bracket to see which players for sure they're going to be using.
Guile was not a selectable character in Cannon Strike, was he? You know, the game where they're on the rollerblades. And
no, that was
just Nash and Cammy, right? Nash was in there, I'm pretty sure, but Guile was okay.
But he wasn't like the direct crewmate. Like he wasn't like, I don't know if he was like a selectable character at that point. I feel like like a secret character or something like that. I can't remember, to be honest with you. It's a game that I didn't really get to play, but
yeah,
either
I never
way.
played that either. Come on, release that on a re-release.
Urian,
I want to play some Cannon Strike here.
Urian versus Guile is what we could expect from Dirty 1M as well as Combo Strike for the most part, right? Urian has been a character that has been highly talked about, especially in the current atmosphere of the season of Street Fighter V.
Right.
Guile is still also part of that discussion, just not as much. More so last season than it is than this season.
Which is interesting too, because Urien definitely got some nerfs to the Aegis Reflector, and not only that, but the V shift actually kind of counters some of the the Aegis Reflector mix-ups. I'm sorry, and then it's kind of dampered the knees a little bit, and then you can also V shift in between the 2 hits of the EX Chariot Tackle if you're close enough. But we just haven't seen that really come into play a lot so far in these tournaments. So Urien definitely still a very, very strong character.
And as difficult as it is to kind of look through all of these players, these are 2 players that, to my knowledge, that I really haven't seen play a lot, right? So if you guys have information, you guys could both let us know as well on social media to kind of highlight some of these players. If you guys are very familiar with them, it's like, oh yeah, I follow this person because I play Urien or I play Guile. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the quotes and what these players have to say.
Yeah, let's find out about these guys from themselves.
Dirty1M says, I haven't seen a lot of these players play before, but I know that there are a lot of pro players in this tournament. I hope I can get a good result.
I mean, look at the expression on his face right there. He's definitely feeling a little bit of pain here, having to go up against these players, but even himself saying that he hasn't heard of a lot of these players before, so that's very interesting. But let's see what Combo Strike has to say here. This is my first time playing CPT online, and look at him. He's dressed. He's going to work here. He's going to work.
I feel like he's the Urien player.
I never thought I would make top 16. It was easier than I thought. Yo, I heard from ZJZ that Dirty1M is very good, but I feel like that he is only lucky. Yo, I will win this tournament.
What is going on?
Combo Strike. Dude, that is a combo strike. He got like a 4-hit combo in that quote. He hit one thing, he hit another, he hit this. This was way easier than I thought.
He even name dropped ZJZ. Yeah. He was like, yo, my man ZJZ is giving me the intel about my opponent. You know how I feel about this? I feel like he's not going to be enough for me. This is only going to be a stepping stone for the rest of this tournament. I got this in the bag. We've seen what happens.
I feel like you got to take a little offense to that, right?
We've seen how that turned out for someone like Fake Crab. When Fake Crab was like, yeah, Gamer B hasn't met someone like me yet. We'll see how he feels about this. And we saw how that turned out. Maybe, I hope Combo Strike doesn't fall into the same fate, but we'll see what happens.
But like I said, he had the suit on, he had the tie, he's ready to go to work.
It's all aesthetics and theatrics.
So is it just like the Zoom meeting? In actuality, he was wearing shorts?
Jorts.
He was wearing jorts.
The worst kind of shorts.
All right. So there we go. Combo Strike with the jorts going up against Dirty1M.
I hope nobody in production is wearing jorts right now. I apologize. I'm kidding. Put those in the trash. Let's go.
I see
Dirty
coming out of the room right now.
No, he's fine.
Yeah, okay.
He's not gonna tyrant slaughter me. It's fine. Here we go. It's gonna be Dirty1M versus Combo Strike.
Indeed, with the Urien and Guile. No weird Abigail, monkey wrenches thrown into here.
I mean, I would have loved to see some Abigail, to be honest with you.
So here we go. And, oh, look at this. Gil is going to be watching his older brother here.
And I like it. Street Fighter, the movie color, I like this from Guile. That's what I'm talking about. How about that?
All right, not charged enough to be able to get anything off of that crouching medium punch. And just throwing out the EX Sonic Boom to interrupt, and now pushing to the corner. No anti-air. Here we go.
Ooh.
Yep, just found the moment to get out of there with the EX headbutt.
Anti-air trades off. Combo Strike now. Okay, this is tough. Let's see what the defensive option is.
Oh! No fear. You fear that. There's no luck in that. He is all business. But here comes Dirty1M. Throws out the other mirror. It wasn't able to get that. Here we go.
How many crouching medium punches?
Oh, no. He just mistimed the meaty. Oh, you have to deal with Sonic Boom. Oh, yep. There you go. Pressure from the flash kicks now.
Ooh.
And the ship. That wasn't even. He didn't even bait out the throw. He baited out the crouching light punch, it looked like, and was still able to kick that in time.
I like that from Combo Strike. Starting things off strong. And I like the idea, like he's throwing out the Sonic Booms to kind of think for Dirty M. He's like, all right, well, you're going to have to face off some of these booms for a little bit. But no, he dashes in immediately after. And I like that catching the V-skill with EX Sonic Boom.
No charge for you. No armor for you. Okay, here we go. Dirty1M baits it out, and it's going to get some beefy damage here.
Yeah, that V skill, again, if that was charged up, he would have had a pretty hefty fireball following after that.
Again, another missed meaty from Dirty 1M. You saw that twice in a row. The last round, it actually cost him.
And I like this combo strike, just being patient in the corner. Does have trigger winding down. Dirty M doing a great job of just waiting for that trigger to dissipate. There's the activation raw.
Oh. Oh, I like that. I love it. Yes. No fear. And then, you know what? He just jumps over the mirror to put himself in between. No fear.
I don't know about this one, James. Yeah, I don't think that knee drop was anywhere cleared for takeoff.
Wow.
My man's in the Air Force. You need a permission. You need permission for takeoff and landing. That's the thing. Can we talk about also the sweep trade?
Yeah,
off
that
of
was
that
sick.
mirror to stop the V skill activation from Combo Strike. Immediately after going for the jump, getting himself out of dodge after that, he's like, okay, I got to find a way to nullify this situation. And he did so perfectly.
See, players at home, enter your first top 60. It's that easy, right? Just like Combo Strike said.
I don't know, man. He knows DJZ, bro. I don't know.
All right, there we go. Nice check on the forward dash, and here we go. Pressure in the corner, close to stun. That should do it right there. He should be able to get the kill here. You get so much damage off. Wow,
yeah, the triple Mega Buster. And again, all possible because of that V skill too, right? Charging it up, getting the enhanced fireball. Making things happen. Dirty M now on the board with 1 round. Combo Strike still hanging out now. EX, Sonic Boom to start things off, catching Dirty M off guard. Oof, big quarrel kick, and it was counter hit for the continuation.
Nice confirm right there. You do have a long time. It's easy reaction on that one. Just have to be looking for the counter hit message. Literally looking on the side of the screen for the message to scroll in. And I want to say this background actually obfuscates the message a little bit, which is interesting. The counter hit message.
Ooh, that was the startup of tackle, possibly. What other special move could have got stuffed?
All right.
And I like this from Combo Strike, not pressing the issue here. Whilst in V, trigger 2, there it is, projectile after projectile. Finds a way to close the gap, but still the tech is there.
Oh, no punish on that. He did not hit heavy kick on the way down. This is going to be a true combo here. And he's going to take him to the corner. What's the setup here? Throws out. Oh!
Excellent choice.
No luck from that one right there. Definitely not lucky. He is taking that one through calculations right there. Exactly.
And that was the thing, right? I feel like, so that was set up, right? The up Aegis to get himself ready for possibly like a throw, forcing the opponent to block. Combo was like, I think I'm just going to EX flash kick this one. I have a feeling he's going to try to go for either of those options, but nothing came. Dirty just sat very patiently, waited for the EX to happen.
I want to test it now. If he actually gotten hit by the EX flash kick, could he have quick rised and made it back to continue the combo off of the bouncing in the corner?
Yeah, because Guile is still going to be within that position no matter what, hit or block.
Right. Exactly. I'm curious now. I gotta double check that. I mean, someone at home who has more experience with Urian can let me know.
I gotta see. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, does it push Guile far or further out? Because considering it was a block first, right? You're still gonna be not as pushed back. But if it's a hit, I don't know if it's gonna push Guile forward enough to get out of dodge for that one. Not. I mean, in the corner, maybe, but like, I don't know. I gotta replay that in my head. Maybe Guile would have gotten away with it. Maybe Guile would have gotten away with it.
All right, but here we go.
Slips my knowledge, man.
1-1. I mean, there's so many characters in this game, so many situations.
But we've been playing this game for a while, James. To be honest, like I gotta brush up on that one.
I mean, there's so many interactions in this game, and that's what makes fighting games awesome, though, is that there's still new stuff that will always surprise us, and that's one of my favorite things about this. So
it's a thing that I haven't really seen, though. I mean, up Aegis right in that situation. You know, I've seen it a handful of times, but just not specifically against Guile. Now it's going to bug the heck out of me. Either way, all tied up, 1 apiece. Let us know on social media, please.
Well, ZJZ did try to warn Combo Strike as much as he could, you know, that he's a strong player.
Another quarrel kick, counter hit as well, conversion.
Ooh, speaking of counter hit, that beefy standing heavy punch gets the coins and then the knockdown as well.
Yeah, the back heavy punch is very far-reaching. Oh, again, just striking away, but still Dirty M not falling for any of it. And I like that. I like Combo Strike being more active with that, switching it up between Yeah, Sobot kick, back heavy punch, sonic boom. I like it. Really utilizing all the tools in Guile's arsenal.
Yeah, good footsies here.
Oh,
no. I think he tried to jump straight up, man. There might have just been an execution error, but here you go. Got to deal with this. Nice, staved off the first one. But what about the second one? Hasn't decided to use it yet.
And what a time to save for that EX Sonic Boom.
Yeah, there it is. There's the second one. But still the life lead from Combo Strike, and no more Aegis for Dirty 1M anymore. No more meter as well. Combo Strike is kind of in the driver's seat at this point, but Combo Strike looking to be still very aggressive. Ooh, spent that on the V reverse. Oh, that's it!
More than enough, yeah.
Just wanted to shake your hand. Got the crush and the dash. It's always one of the best crush counters in the game, that standing heavy punch from Urian.
It's a pretty solid one, that's for sure. Combo Strike, here he comes. Using that V skill, wrong headbutt from the side of Dirty M, making that target combo, or following up that target combo with a fireball. That's fine. EX flash kick, get off of me.
Yep, and there we go, using that for the aggression. I love the empty jump. A good reaction from Dirty 1M to block that.
He's not trying to shake hands with him anymore. Oh, but you tried to do a... There was something there on the side of Combo Strike. You saw a reversal. It had to be Sonic Boom. It's either one or the other, right? He's only got 2 special moves, James.
That's the way he's been since the beginning of time.
It had to be Sonic Boom.
Oh, look at this projectile war. I love it. All right, gets the free jump in right there. Gonna be able to, oh, no free jump in this time. The damage, and Dirty 1M is going to defeat Combo Strike. Top 16 is as far as he's going to make it. Dirty 1M moving forward. Again, ZJZ tried to warn him that he's a strong player.
I like the confidence coming in, without a doubt. That's the kind of the kind of spark I like to see from players.
I mean, as much as I'm ribbing on him and everything, honestly, awesome job to him to get to top 16 here in his first attempt as well. So,
that's an impressive feat in and of itself, to be quite honest with you. With 100+ entrants, that is quite the run to have in your first CPT appearance.
Yeah, and I'm really excited, to see him more often. I mean, again, one of the great things about having Asia East separated from the Japan region here is we do get to see a lot more of these players here. How often do we see players like this have a great run and we're like, who is this guy? And then just within a few more months, they're household names, right? So we'll probably see some of these players again in the next Asia East qualifier.
Oh, without a doubt. And I hope to see Combo Strike again.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, we do have our round 2 established. It's going to be Hot Dog 29 getting ready to face off Mr. Hip, BPH. After that, Punko versus Minute Maid Orange. And then, of course, RB versus Yo-Yo Tai to round out round 2. Oil King versus Dirty 1M.
Nice little packed Taiwan bottom half of that loser's bracket right there. Those are the 4 matches we're going to see next on stream again to get to the top 8. The winner side is done. But we're still moving on here on the loser side of the bracket for that top match over there, and it will be Hot Dog going up against BPH.
Do you think BPH is going to stick it out with Lucia one more time?
I mean, I obviously I would hope so. I think that would be cool. Lucia, again, it's tough. I've had an interesting journey with Lucia myself. Really just like having a lot of trouble making the character work. And recently I've kind of had an epiphany on the character. And so I do feel like she has the ability to fight Bison.
Okay.
But I do think Bison has an advantage in that matchup. But I wouldn't see why not, especially with the way that BPH played her in the previous round. Looked very, very strong.
So we were kind of talking about it a little bit when we talk about Lucia and the kind of triggers she can use and how V-Trigger 1 has been like the trigger of choice. Do you think that's going to be the trigger of choice against someone like Hot Dog and the character Bison?
Well, it seems like to me, you're saying using for Lucia's V-Trigger against Bison, you mean? I mean, it just looked like he felt so comfortable using V-Trigger 2, with the sweep into the baton, catching with the frame traps and such. So, but again, I feel like Lucia is one of those characters. Again, a lot of Lucia players have felt like V-Trigger 1 was one of the most important ones. It also lets her get in on people a little bit easier too, because run EX V skill 1 can only be canceled into V-Trigger 1. It cannot be canceled into V-Trigger 2 for whatever reason. And so that actually allows her to get in and be able to apply pressure against a character like M. Bison. So I'm curious if that's going to be the decision to go with that, to be able to try to get in there. But Bison is also one of those characters that's always going to be trying to get in on you.
Yeah,
so,
that's
you
the
know,
thing, right?
like maybe you don't have to worry about that. Bison's not exactly a turtle character, so having the ability to turn a bunch of unsafe things to being safe, thanks to the baton, might be very valuable to have.
I don't know if Hot Dog is going to be susceptible to any sort of trickery like that. I mean, we saw the kind of ranges that BPH used the sweep into baton, right? A little bit further out, right? In a sense that you can be interrupted from it. I know that there is like a considerable gap, right? It was like 3 frames. I was just informed that on Twitter, right?
Okay.
But the idea was, when we talked about that last usage between BPH and Human Bomb, was there could have been 2 other options, right? There could have been like crouching light kick or maybe like EX SBK. There was a gap there. But for some reason, I'm thinking maybe for certain players, if they see that happen, if they're seeing that sweep, in their minds they might be like, all right, this might just be a free punish, because it is a very punishable normal.
Right, of course.
Right, that could be one of the things on their mind. But again, after one time, there's no way they're going to get hit by it again. But it happened.
Right, exactly. And again, it's just one of those things, right? It's awareness. I had a match that I was playing on stream where Nabuki was attacking me and kept teleporting behind me and just hitting me all the time. And I was just like, you know what? This is only happening because I'm not preparing my mind. I'm not thinking about it. And as soon as I put it in my mind, all of a sudden I was able to stop it all the time. I just feel like, Human Bomb didn't put that in his mind after he got hit by it the first time. And so
I want to check it out. I really want to see on CFN, because Jammers was also talking about it as well. It's like maybe there could have been an input for EXSBK, possibly. We got to look it up, man. That's the best part about CFN. But in the meantime, let's check out BPH versus Hot Dog. Here we go.
Still going to be sticking with the V-Trigger 2. So there you go. Still going to be the baton. And Hot Dog going with V-Skill 1 against V-Trigger 2 as well.
Oh, yeah. What a whiff punish there. Yeah. Just in range of that short. Oh, no!
Yeah, and like I said, one of Lucia's biggest weaknesses is I really do think she might have the stubbiest collection of normals in the game.
Oh, boy.
And Bison has range for days, and so that's one of the hardest parts to, of her fight. But that's when you start using the fireball as well. We haven't seen Breast Panty Hip use a lot of the, BPH use a lot of the fireball, to be honest with you.
Back throw. That bomb's gonna explode. Okay.
Yeah, so he was patient.
And I gotta say, BPH has done a great job of sticking out the defense, right? He's just been hanging out. There's a lot of plus frames behind Bison, right? And then finding the gaps with that low medium punch. But not that time!
But see, that was the same mix-up that he used with the sweep into the baton. You just weren't expecting that to come out. Oh, a backdash to escape the throw. Oh, you got to deal with this. And the throw range from Bison.
And that was just normal grab. That was just forward grab, right? Immediately after that tick jab, there's no way for you to take that throw.
All right, that's negative.
Dashing up.
Wow. That's a way to take your plus frames right there. Dash up, get in your face, and start going. Now, again, this is, I don't want to blow up any Lucia players out there, but after forward throw, you can almost always backdash to escape any meaties that she has. But again, how many Lucias do you fight? How many people know these kind of things about this character?
I feel like Hot Dog is just kind of being a little bit cautious too against BPH, but okay, let's talk about that in a bit.
Nice. Again, there's that sweep again. Like I said, 8-frame sweep, and then gets the cross up thanks to the up fireball right there. If you're not ready for it and you see it coming down, you got to deal with the free pressure that Lucia gets.
The light kick fireball, man. Having that lob just sitting there. Hot Dog was actually in range to possibly rebuttal, maybe like a sweep, EX scissor kick if he was maintaining the charge, because he was sitting there, he was holding down back for a bit.
Oh, wow, that was far. But you see right there, BPH not hitting a lot of them. There we go. The heavy kick actually manages to find its target.
Plus frames again.
Yeah, plus frames, so get out of there. And again, 2-bar V trigger for BPH, so why not? Spend that V reversal, get out of there. But here, again.
Do it again.
But you know what? If you're a Hot Dog, that's kind of a win for you right there, getting him to spend 2 of those in the corner, and now you're back here again.
That's the thing, though, with 2-bar gauge, I mean, it's still pretty good. And here comes Hot Dog. Speaking of 2-bar gauge, the cross-up. Uh-oh.
Oh, and he stayed in the front. I think he thought he was going to go for the cross-up again. The bomb locked her down, and I think he was trying to punish, and as soon as that bomb exploded, he was like, wait a second, I'm locked in place, and then he just got jabbed right there.
Yeah, there was a counter hit, too. There was an attempt to press a button from BPH, but he was still in lockdown because of the bomb.
And again, I swear Talon, like, Hot Dog, I'm sorry, has like this timer in his head that he just knows exactly how long he has
it's
to
like,
wait.
what, like 7.5 seconds or something like that? So
that's true. There's a timer on the screen.
yeah, he's just fine. He's done this before. Every Bison main that rocks V Trigger 2 should know like how much time until the bomb explodes.
Ooh, nice confirm off the stand heavy punch. Gets the run here, but look at this, a challenge from Hot Dog. And again, that sweep whiff, if you have the reactions, like I said, an 8-frame sweep, and it reaches so far, too.
And what an interruption.
Yeah, he tried to steal the turn. So that's why you got to hit buttons when you're negative sometimes. You got to prevent your opponent from just taking those turns like that.
Oh, he got hit by the second stand short. And here comes that command grab.
What side is it going to be?
No, this is going to be grab. Psycho Axe. No, not today. EX uppercut from BPH.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and again, you saw BPH do the standing light kick, and went for the throw, and that counter hit made the throw whiff. But that is the 2 light button sequence that allows Lucia to get a throw.
Throw from Hot Dog, pushes BPH towards the corner.
Oh, he's going to get the cross.
What a time to jump out of there in anticipation of the Psycho Axe, or he just did it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably. But look at that, the side switch with the EX head stomp and then just fly to the other side. Nice confirm on that single hit.
Oh, mighty crush counter from the mighty Bison.
And again, that's where a lot of that danger comes from. Lucia's best buttons in neutral over there are going to be like standing medium kick, but they're going to lose the priority system to something like a Bison standing heavy kick.
Ooh. And I got to say, we always forget about the amount of grade damage that Bison can really tap on an opponent and just really capitalize. Any stray hits can lead to a ton of damage. And Hot Dog does a really great job of that, right? Just hanging out within the range of medium kick to check BPH. But the counter poke there from BPH. Crouching medium punch has been the go-to.
He just punched the standing medium kick almost on reaction. I mean, that's not a reactable thing. What
side was that on, James? You tell me right now.
What was he trying to do right there? I'm not sure what Hot Dog was trying to do to get hit. He got hit by the fireball. She hadn't crossed over yet.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure what he was going for. Was he trying to do a wake up and he just mistimed the reversal?
I mean, I didn't see any sort of counter hit. He just got hit with it raw.
Right.
It could have.
Maybe he thought it was a cross up, and so he was holding forward a little bit too early or something.
Possibly.
Because she can't really get behind you in that situation. There's really not any reliable ways for her to get behind you off of the sweep into the light fireball like that.
Very interesting. Either way, it puts BPH at 1. And now he's tied up against Hot Dog. Another crush counter. You thought it was your turn? No, sir.
Yeah, no challenging the plus frames that time. Actually, light 3-framer should have beat it, but he probably did not go for the 3-frame button in that situation.
And you see kind of going for that sweep a little bit more often than not whilst in V-trigger because you know you can't cancel out of it. So trying to see if you can catch Hot Dog standing within range, but that medium kick has a lot to say about it as well as swinging away with the heavy punch.
Oh, God, not punishing it properly.
I mean, again, didn't want to even risk it. Could have been a hit, but with that much life left, I think he would have been just fine regardless.
Tried to go for the sweep frame trap again, but
it hit.
Right, it hit. Oh, he dashed in. Nice check. Get you to the corner as much as possible. Yeah, I like the V-shift, and guess what? I'm flying out of here. Getting away, and very risky for BPH to try to chase it, and there, that standing heavy kick hurt box comes out so early.
Before like,
she kicks.
The hitbox even comes out. Yeah, makes sense. And I like Hot Dog again, moving forward with the knee press. Scissor kick, medium kick again.
Again, a
to confirm.
single hit confirmed.
I think it might have been just like a buffer. I think
That's
BPH
true.
is just within range, and the stun incoming.
This is
we
not
might
looking
see
good.
a perfect very soon. Here comes Hot Dog, the
Yep,
throw.
the
Not
throw.
enough yet.
One more mix-up. Okay.
Oh,
Can BPH do this? This is such a comeback here. Oh, he got the cancel, but couldn't really take advantage of it. Got the cancel on the whiff. It's so weird looking. Oh, but again, the standing. You know, Hot Dog had done perfectly spaced light scissor kick backdash so many times during the match. It's at the range where Lucia can't really punish the backdash. And Talon and Hot Dog had done that so many times. Light scissor kick, backdash. Light scissor kick, backdash. That time, light scissor kick, stand light kick. And sure enough, it looked like BPH was trying to chase it down with something, just walked right into it.
Oh, we saw the startup of the sweep, actually. He got interrupted by that light
okay,
kick. Yeah,
okay.
just at the very last second, Hot Dog decided to stand still, standing light kick, and that was just within range, and it was quicker than that 8 frames, as you mentioned earlier. So big shout-outs to Hot Dog, eliminating now BPH, no longer in the running. Hot Dog is the first candidate into top 8 from the loser side.
I mean, again, you know, obviously BPH definitely worthy of getting there as well, but seeing Hot Dog 29 make it into the top 8, no surprises to anybody. Definitely no surprise to anyone, because obviously one of the strongest players, winning one of the, you know, I guess you can call them Grand Slams of 2 years ago with that North America.
Oh yeah, easily one of the most stacked brackets, because that was like the last chance qualifier
Right.
to Capcom Cup.
Exactly.
Everybody was there.
Yeah. And so there you go, Hot Dog making it into the top 8. He will be playing tomorrow as well. Again, we're just getting to the top 8. All of top 8 will be played tomorrow, but we've got 3 more matches coming up before then.
We sure do. Yeah, we are setting ourselves up for Minute Maid Orange as well as Punko. You guys can check all that and more. Plenty of round 2 to go. We're seeing a lot more 2-1s, and hopefully we can continue to do so. But after this break, we're going to go on and continue with the losers run. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to experience round 2 of the loser side and see who will join the top 8 for tomorrow. My name is Vicious, here with James Chen. We have still a couple more matches to go before we establish these last set of players from the loser side.
Right. Again, we're just getting through the top 8. We have 5 of those players already established in the top 8. We've got 3 more to go here in the losers bracket. You can take a look at the losers bracket and see which matches we have coming up to round out the rest of this day here.
For sure. We do have, I believe, Minute Maid Orange getting ready to face off against Punko. Punko, who actually started from the winner's side, rocking that Dan, also using Abigail. But we haven't seen the Abigail yet.
Right.
I'm hoping to continue, or at least see him continue with the Dan choice. And, of course, Minute Maid Orange making quick work with that Karen play. I do want to see how this plays out.
Yep. And then you can see coming up after that, it's going to be all Taiwan after that. RB versus Yo-Yo Tai. Oil King versus Dirty 1M. Of course, Oil King always in the awkward position of being the first to go in the day and the last to go in the day.
Really?
Winning that first. Whenever you lose that first match, you're always the last one.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know how often Oil King is in that position.
I'm just saying the not in his often position.
Oh, okay,
just,
okay.
Being in that unfortunate position.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, there you go.
that is kind of rough, right?
Yeah,
You're starting things off. It's like, well, I mean, okay, if I win here, I don't have to play until tomorrow. Now it's like, if I lose here, I gotta wait what feels like forever. And I get that. I totally get that. But we are gearing up with Minute Maid Orange, who we saw use Karen against Fake Crab in a 2-0 match, and Punko actually, who fell to Xiao Bao 2-0.
Right. But again, as you mentioned, he's using that Dan, and I still want to see a Dan Finite on stream. I mean, look, they haven't
Not gonna happen.
Oh, no.
Not gonna happen.
Okay.
It's gonna be Abigail.
Because Cammy, that actually makes a lot of sense over here. So probably feeling like Dan versus Cammy, not exactly the best matchup to go for.
And, it might not even be like a matchup consideration choice. He was just like, okay, maybe my Dan wasn't up to par in my performance in Winners. It's time to really turn it up with Abigail.
Yeah, but this was definitely the character that he had been using for the long time that we hadn't seen it. You had mentioned he was still streaming a lot. We just hadn't seen him in as many CPTs. This was definitely the character he was using a lot of during that time.
And you see how active he is with the normals too. Punko is definitely that kind of character to keep it ambiguous. He's like, yeah, I'm going to throw out these normals, but you're bound to run into one of them eventually. And Minute Maid Orange has kept the pace pretty light. He's like, you know what? I'm going to just hang out outside of these ranges. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And goes for the side switch. So uses that wall bounce for the side switch mix up.
Oh, you're going to get smoked off of that. Yeah, that parry.
Not a good idea. Okay, but at least take the throw in the middle of the screen. Wow, they both whipped the crouch heavy punches. That was such a late cancel, but it was good enough right there. Actually, was that cancel off the stand medium kick?
It was stand medium kick into V-trigger.
Okay, stand medium kick canceled into V-trigger always happens late. It always happens at the very end of the medium kick. It's really weird. Kind of to prevent it from comboing into too much.
That makes sense.
Oh. Trade with the medium punches. Oh,
and I
God,
like that.
Again,
what a buffer.
I love that Minute Maid Orange has really been punishing Punko for all the button presses. He's just throwing out those buttons at a range and buffering it into drill just in case. Like that one there.
Yeah. And I got a feel for Punko, man. This has got to be like the third or fourth Cammy he's faced off in pools, to be honest with you. He's not catching a break, but maybe this is the chance for said break. Here we go. Big counter hit.
Super. Yeah, just take the round. Take the round. Done.
And that was a big turnaround. As soon as Minute Maid Orange was clipped in that corner, Punko was going to make it hurt.
That was just a bad confirm for Minute Maid Orange. He had the V-trigger activated, accidentally canceled into the drill on a block, put himself in the corner, and then it just all went downhill. So, honestly, that was Minute Maid Orange's fault for losing that round. We haven't seen necessarily... You can see Punko's not hitting buttons anymore. You can see it. He's not doing it as much anymore.
He understands that Minute Maid Orange is that kind of player to sniff out a normal and whiff punish accordingly, or is willing to press buttons from further out to catch a buffer.
Right. I like that check on the 4-dash. Oh, maybe he didn't think he was going to be on the other side, and so he just got hit after landing. from the EX dive kick.
And I like this patience from Punko. A lot less reliant on pressing buttons. Or he's not pressing buttons wildly as he was earlier in the game.
Oh, he's whipping throws. He's trying to wow, Punko, I mean, just itchy to do something. It's really hard for him to play patiently, it feels like. And that is perfect stun position for Minute Maid Orange to get one hit in a stun, so the follow-up will do as much damage as possible.
But don't get clipped one time by Punko, because if that trigger activation happens, it's gonna be not enough. He dropped it.
Oh, but okay, nice jump, escape. He goes for it again, escape. Punko wants these unblockables. What a whip punish with the drill. That's dead! Gravity check for the win.
I mean, for a character that spends a lot of time in the air with, like, you know, her critical art and a dive kick, you would think she'd be able to land on her feet.
Not when Abigail tosses you into the sky.
It's a whole different story, huh?
Oh, man, and Punko's going to take it there with the toss. And
it's terrifying. It's terrifying. Frozen in place, not a single button thrown because there is armor on the way out, so...
Yeah, and again, and I love the adjustments that Punko has been making. Like I said, Minute Maid Orange took advantage of that first round of so many button presses, but I'm not sure what Punko was trying to go for with the whiff throws.
I mean, he's just baiting out normals or any sort of reaction, really.
Right.
That's the kind of person Punko is. He's like, he doesn't want to play the patient game.
But that's the thing.
He's testing you.
Caught it. Minute Maid Orange hasn't really fallen for the bait just yet. After the activation, you're definitely... Oh, no! But actually, that was a counter hit, so that's going to do more damage. Instead, he was trying to shake out of the stun, accidentally hit a button and got counter hit. He actually got more damage out of that combo.
I think Punko's totally fine with that. I feel like there was probably a little chuckle on his end. He's like, huh, all right, I'll take that. Here we go. Minute Maid Orange now pushing Punko to the corner.
Wow.
No, I feel like I was a little bit too far.
All right, Punko losing a lot of that patience that he had earlier.
Yeah, when he has like match point situation, you know he's going to go back to his old ways, but there's the raw activation there. Minute Maid Orange is doing a great job keeping Punko contained, and that's exactly what excelled him into the next match, or in the next round, I should say, with full critical art. However, Punko just about there in terms of EX. You see there, critical art can be built just a little bit more. But Punko slowly walking towards Minute Maid Orange, just trying to see a normal he could probably catch, or try to catch. Crouch medium punches that fish for.
It's so interesting to watch because, like I said, you can tell Punko has so much trouble not hitting buttons. He wants to do something. Oh, punches her out of the air. Nice decision right there. Not letting her land at all. Oh! Was that a punish on hit? I gotta look up the frame date on that crouching heavy punch.
Dashing right up there.
What a throw tech. Couldn't quite get that crouching heavy punch from that range.
Okay, so a hefty life lead here for Minute Maid Orange, but here comes the activation from Punko, jumping
Abigail
out of there.
Is gonna Abigail.
Oh my God.
Minute Maid Orange's reaction timing to jump away from the unblockable. Oh, that's it right
more
there.
than enough. Yeah, Punko was committed to catching something. He went for the charge up. Minute Maid Orange, freshly squeezed, got in there.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find out if that was a true punish off of that crouching heavy
punch. It had
punch.
to be.
Yeah, because that thing is super negative if you punch and get the hit and don't cancel it into anything.
If you're not canceling it, you're pretty much dead in the water. So that's one of those things. Like even with heavier normals, right? Just in general, if you're throwing out a heavier normal and it hits and you're not following through.
It's minus 13.
I was going to say something like -9 maybe.
It's minus 13. So good awareness right there. From Minute Maid Orange, just to know that I have all the time in the world to swing with heavy punch.
Double digits.
Ow.
Hey, well, that puts MMO in a great position, right? Into top 8. Unfortunate for Punko going from winners.
Was that it? I thought that was 1-1. Punko won the first game.
I thought that was 2 straight up.
Yeah, remember he won with the
toss. Baby toss. That's right. He went for the
third.
Man, I'm getting ahead of myself. I see Cammy win, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go.
Yeah,
but that's not the case.
right?
No, let me fix my face. My mistake. I put a big fat X right there. there. Okay, it's going to be MMO Punko going into the final game. Let me not drag you into this part, right? I've been seeing a lot of 2-0s.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
okay.
true. That's true. Oh, he's doing it. If he's going to go down, he's doing it with the Psycho style.
I like that. Trying to convert another unsuspecting Street Fighter into Psycho style. I like that. I like that a lot.
Dan Hibiki on the scene.
Oh, Koryuken, you already saw it coming.
Yep. He's got the anti-air, but he's got to watch out, obviously, trying to see if Minute Maid Orange is going to try to go for that V-skill. Oh, actually, he's got V-skill 2, so he can't go through the fireball with the V-skill 1. Interesting that he chose to stick with V-skill 2 in this situation. But, I mean, it's not... Dan's fireball, obviously, is not the threat. Out of there. Gets out of the corner. One of the movement V-skills.
Let me see Punko trying to bait out again. The dash does get checked by Minute Maid Orange. Nice and patient. Too far away for the counter hit to convert from that medium. Medium
that was so nice. There we go. Activation. Trying to chase him down to the corner. Oh, just counters with the heavy punch. No fear. And there we go. But no dive kick. He can't get the follow-up off of that. But the chip. Yeah.
I like that.
I like the decision. Yeah.
Spend all that cash. Chip damage whilst Dan is in V-trigger. No way to V-reversal out. No V-shift to save you.
Okay, can you imagine if we get to the last round situation and Punko needs to do the full infinite to win?
Oh no. And you know what's unfortunate about that? There's a side switch on top of the extra damage.
Yep. Almost stunned. Here we go. Wake up buttons. There's the stun. Gonna be huge damage here. Drill, EX uppercut.
Back throw will be more than enough, but a dive kick comes in a little bit too high up. EX uppercut from the side of Punko. Sweep into activation. Back throw now.
Tries
this is going to be critical
the corner. Yep. Oh no, it didn't hit the way that he didn't. He didn't get the full combo off of that. But he's gonna chase down with the EX Dan kicks like that. Out of there. And look at this. Actually, Punko might want to wait a little bit, build some of that life back right there. No, he went for the fireball. He dared to test Minute Maid Orange's reaction. But Minute Maid Orange said, no, you cannot test my reaction. And there you go.
Chock full of vitamin C there. You see Vitamin Cammy moving on into top 8. Now, officially, I might have said it a little bit too early, but the result is the same. MMO eliminating Punko with that switch up to Dan just wasn't enough. Again, some subtle mistakes, some really small mistakes, right? Punko throwing that EX fireball from that distance. There's a lot of time for Cammy to just drill right in there.
I wasn't sure what that was about in that situation. I mean, you know, normally you can kind of throw that, and if Cammy EX drills you, you take a small chunk of damage, and, you know, you have to deal, obviously, with her pressure on your wake-up kind of situation. But in that case where the EX drill is going to kill for sure, it's just, it's not worth throwing out that risk there.
Not at all.
Not sure what Punko was. But again, like I said, it was very interesting to watch because as you're watching that whole entire match, you can tell Punko has a hard time staying still. Had a hard time not trying something. And I really feel like Minute Maid Orange did a really good job understanding that read on Punko and just saying, you know what? He gets antsy. He has to do something. And so he just bided his time until he found those openings like that and was able to EX drill through that fireball.
So that's going to be our second candidate from the loser side. MMO, a.k.a. Minute Maid Orange, is going to be facing off against Hot Dog tomorrow in the top 8 loser side. We still have plenty more matches to go. You see towards the later half of the loser side from round 1, we're starting to see a little bit more Street Fighter V, right? Round 2, we started things off with 2-1 and 2-1 again. But we'll see if that works out again with RB and Yo-Yo Tai coming right up. Yo-Yo Tai rocking that R Mika. Didn't want to face off against a Cammy, but still ended up taking it down against
RB
QH.
didn't want to fight a Cammy either.
It was destiny.
Thanks to Yo-Yo Tai, he doesn't have to do that. But, you know, obviously, look, I know we keep talking about Cammy, and it's one of those things that maybe some people at home in the chat are like, can you guys stop talking about this character? But this is the tale of the CPT so far, right? We have 3 Cammys in top 8 so far. We definitely have 3 Cammies, so we are definitely going to be seeing a lot of Cammies tomorrow. Character is very strong. It's just, you know,
sure.
Like I said, we like to study the storylines of the season, and right now this is definitely one of the main ones.
Well, at the same time, now we have Armika versus Urian right now. So with RB, again, we talked a good amount about RB, or I at least talked about a good amount of RB and his history and his lore in the FGC, or at least his breakout performance for Street Fighter V specifically. And he went up against Gamer B and fell just a little bit short. Now, a second chance at life, facing off against Yo-Yo Tai. We saw the kind of play that Yo-Yo Tai had up his sleeve with Armika. Very, very close call, I would say, against QH. I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to play out, Armika versus Urian, between these two competitors.
Right. And if those are the characters that they're going to go with, I mean, they may have like hidden secondaries or something on matches that they don't like.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
You know, I feel like I feel like we're probably going to see those characters going up here. And again, what's interesting about those last two matches is it's all Taiwan here. And again, for me, it's always fascinating to see the different regions and how well they're doing over there, and to see, you know, Taiwan, you know, has always for a long time has been Gamer B, Gamer B, Gamer B, Gamer B, Gamer B, right? Like that's how we talked about from Taiwan during the Street Fighter 4 period. And you know, as time has gone on, with RB having a breakout performance, Oil King having a breakout performance, and now we're seeing so many more of these players from Taiwan coming out. It's cool to see. It's cool to see. And again, like I said, Street Fighter fighting games, universal language. I just love seeing the talent from all the different areas.
Oh, without a doubt. And again, we're spanning across what, like 19 different territories now with 32 events, right?
Yep.
This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was that?
Did I say something about hidden secondaries? Did I say something about hidden secondaries?
RB going through with Dan this time around. 2-2 is the V choice, the V set of choice, I should say.
Interesting. Well, we see a miscue right there from the get-go.
I see.
Yeah, missing that cancel. That's one of the risky things with Dan. Anytime you miss that, wow, going for the sweep follow. We've seen both RB now and Punko going for the sweep there just to frame trap people. If that's blocked, that can be a lot of damage. Oh, too far away for that other standing. Again, you can see RB doesn't quite have the timing as effective as Punko.
Oh, no. But you know what? Not bad. Okay, I was going to say Irish Whip.
Yeah, Mika's like, I can do whatever I want. Nice. Empty
Gets
jump.
the side switch again. Pretty important here.
Yep.
And the Reese, going for the damage straight up.
Good damage here. Gets the follow-up. Yeah, look at that. Dan's got combos, baby.
Oh, boy. Does get a frame trap after that. Or she's going to counter hit.
Oh, he managed to throw that in time after the fireball because he charged the fireball a little, and then maybe the review reversal was a little late. RB still had the time after tossing the fireball to throw that V reversal.
That's pretty good, man. I was going to say,
yeah,
being able to charge that fireball in front of your face.
See, I love canceling into the low jab. It's like a reverse beat kind of a thing, you know, to just look at the pressure. Oh, my goodness.
How many throws?
Okay, keeping himself from being stunned.
I'm liking this a lot from RB, but now Yo-Yo Tai fought out of the corner successfully. Now you're taking all of my throws. It might be a command grab sooner than later. Who knows? But here comes RB firing right back.
Oh. It almost feels like Yo-Yo Tai is a little kind of overwhelmed and maybe not too familiar. I mean, I'm not sure what Yo-Yo Tai's game plan outside of just playing Armika is.
How did he know, James? How did he know? He saw the dash up coming. Didn't bother checking it. He's like, all right, I'm just going to jump. I'm out of here. I missed the time to judge.
That's the Psycho style. That's what it all is about.
That's how you know. That's how you know, because Dan's just the greatest. He's the greatest.
Exactly.
But no, you have a really, really valid point, too, with the usage of the way that RB is using Dan, right? Being able to cancel those normals into a crouch jab and kind of intimidate the opponent from pressing buttons, right? It's not going to be as obvious as using maybe like a heavy into like a medium or something into something else, right? Doing that jab really kind of throws people off in terms of timing.
Yeah, and especially because it whiffs like that, right? It just kind of whiffs in front of their face and like, oh, wait, that didn't hit me. What's going on? And so you get the chance to steal turns that way.
Exactly.
You get the whiff, crouch, light punch, and then walk forward, and you get to do more pressure at
multiple
that point
throws. We saw at least, 4 throws on the way to the corner. It wasn't normals that was doing that. Maybe a Danku Kyuk, but there was multiple instances where it was just forward throw after pressure.
All right, so there you go. I mean, Dan working out really solidly for RB. And it looked a little rough at first because he was definitely missing some of those timings. Maybe it was just a little bit of nerves and, okay, got to get back into this. Now, it does feel like we went back to the lobby. Do we get a character switch? What did I say about secret secondaries?
I mean, hey, it happens. I like that. This is a very good choice. Poison now coming from the side of Yo-Yo Tai.
All right, trying to use the range of Poison to keep Dan out, as well as the wonderful crouching medium punch, anti-air. Oh, yeah, charging up that fireball all the way. She can still trade with that one. Oh,
just in time, recovering that sweep. Oh, and again, mistiming the cancel.
You're in a counter hit state that whole time, so yeah, you're going to eat that crush counter.
And this is way more favorable for Yo-Yo Tai to contest with further distances. But what happens when RB's in your face?
That towards heavy kick with that V-skill allows him to attack from such farther ranges. But now corner plus out of there. Yep. Oh, nice. Oh, and a great read by Yo-Yo Tai.
I like that. Good patience there from Yo-Yo Tai because that could have been a huge swing of momentum from the side of RB.
I can't not laugh every time I hear him say, "I hate you."
It's fair.
Like that. Oh, wow. Going for the air-to-air challenge. Throw to the corner. Yep. There we go. RB's got the meaties. And now...
I see what you did there, James.
To the side switch. Into the corner. But just jumps right out.
Yeah.
Just jumps right out.
Didn't have the option select ready in case RB went for the jump.
Oh, okay. He stood up. And so he's going to get hit low. And so I feel like we're going to see a switch to Urian. I mean, that did not feel like it went well at all. So I feel like we're going to see a switch potentially to Urian.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be quite honest with you, if he does go for that option. And granted, he did win the first game to give him that kind of space and option to go back into his main. There's going to be a considerable decision to be made as they are going back into the lobby. RB just might do it. Might go back into Urian.
But what a Dan pick against Mika. I mean, that definitely caught him by surprise. And I feel like one of the reasons why that worked is because Mika, she's another character with pretty stubby normals. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't really have that great, like, Cammy or Karen standing medium kick poke kind of button, and so Dan can kind of fight that. But as soon as you switch to Poison, obviously that all goes out the window because Poison has range all over the place. So maybe now it's time to switch back to Urian, play a little bit more of a distance game with Urian, being able to throw some fireballs and trying to.
Yeah, but I see that's the thing is that Poison was made to play against fireball characters pretty well.
It's true.
We saw the kind of trade-offs you can get with the whips. And we've seen the damage difference between the two. So we'll see. I mean, like, the chance of playing against Poison and winning further out, or excuse me, from further out as Urian is kind of tough. But up close with Dan,
but he wants the armor. Here we go. But there you go. Starting with the fireballs right away. Because he's got the armor as well. But that does not work on the fireball. Look at this. What the heck? He looks like Sagat right now.
It's tougher when you have that V-skill charged, right?
Yeah. Oh, he gets the cross-up.
Oh, yeah. The trade combo, 100% ready for that option select. And even with that trade, he's still able to get that crouching heavy punch. Very smart from RB. And now, look, Yo-Yo Tai is being a little bit more active. He's closing the gap to the point where he's not going to let RB get a free V-skill. This is the time for Yo-Yo Tai to strike.
But the wake up EX, yep. All right, here we go. Kind of scary situation right here. Any hit from Poison's going to lead to a ton of damage, especially cooking. Yeah, and there you go, the EX Love Me Tender. And that's twice now that he's just gone for a raw chariot tackle like that. I'm surprised. Speaking of raw and surprise, I like that crouching like it. Oh, God, there's mirrors everywhere. Oh no.
It was just too much from Yo-Yo Tai at that point.
He had to hit he got so tempted to hit that button.
I mean, crouching light kick worked out. The jump defense was working out. That could have been it, but either way, RB gets a pretty big shot at eliminating Yo-Yo Tai right here and now. Great anti-air using the V-skill to follow up. RB back out of the corner.
Yeah, cross up with Urian. Yep, that's the good range right there. Okay. Gets the launch, and now you're going to get him cooking a little bit. Actually, no, the side switch.
Yeah, he's done that multiple times and not letting the opponent cook. EX headbutt. The throw, more than enough. RB is going to eliminate Yo-Yo Tai with the throw.
That's a rough one right there. But again, RB, you know, a little bit more. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say that he's a little bit more of a veteran than Yo-Yo Tai because I'm not sure how long Yo-Yo Tai has been playing the fighting games. Obviously, we know RB from a little bit earlier, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But there you go. RB is going to be taking it with the Urian with the little counter pick play right there. I really thought that was kind of interesting. We had the Dan to beat the Mika and then the Poison to beat the Dan. And then here we go, a switch up right there. Yeah. And a lot.
We were expecting to see something like a whip kind of hinder Urian from playing that fireball game, but as soon as that V skill was in full effect, it was a whole different story. It was like, man, this is looking kind of tough. Honestly, this is pretty good for Urian right now, and RB was just letting it rip. It was a whole different story in the out the gate.
And it's classic fireball situation, right? I mean, this is something that has existed since Street Fighter 2. When the opponent blocks the fireball from a full screen away, you have so much more plus frames to throw up another fireball as soon as it gets the block. The closer you are, obviously, the less frame advantage you have. But from the full screen away, if you block the fireball, you have the option to throw another fireball, and there's no way Poison's going to have the time to be able to charge and get the whip to trade in time. So that was just RB. Throw the fireball. You see him block it from a full screen away. Just throw another one.
I mean, that's the time where you have to consider, right? If you were to back up, then you could do like something like a neutral jump to reset the timing, right? That's exactly what needs to be done. But that just wasn't the case. Yo-Yo Tai was so bent on trying to get that strategy to work. He's like, all right, well, if he throws a fireball, I got to trade. And I think he got a little bit too fixated on that at the start of the match, or at the start of that game.
Exactly. So there you go. But as a result, RB is going to advance forward. He will be awaiting the winner of Oil King and Dirty 1M. That is going to be the last match to determine who's in the top 8. We see Hot Dog, Minute Maid Orange already on the loser side. Who will be the 4th player to join those two, and RB, who will be playing it all out tomorrow to qualify for the Capcom Cup. Again, only the first place person qualifies.
Hey, but I'll tell you what, they still get a chunk of the $5,000 at each and every one of these events, right? Every single one of these CPT events, top 4 split $5,000. Not bad at all, considering all you have to do to sign up is actually just sign up.
Yeah, but obviously, you know, if you can win and get to Capcom Cup, there's a chance for you to get a lot more money there.
Oh, yeah, a ton more. Now, this sets us up for our last match of top 16 going into top 8. This is going to be very interesting for Oil King, right? He has to go through back-to-back Urians if he succeeds past this one, right?
That's true,
He has to go through Dirty 1M, and then if he wins, has to face off against RB. Whereas Dirty 1M, if he wins, has to go off against the mirror match.
I mean, with the Aegis Reflectors, it's like a quadruple mirror match or something.
About to belt out the man in the mirror. Watch me.
We'll both be singing that before the tournament starts again. So
We'll see if RB ends up changing his ways. But either way, Oil King, Dirty 1M, here we go.
And again, Oil King has really kind of asserted himself as the strongest player from Taiwan in the past couple of years. But here he is in the loser side. Let's see if he can actually do this. Oh, no,
just caught in the middle of a jump.
Yeah, gets hit out of the air, and the confirm on the air hit puts you vulnerable like that. Nice
What a block there from Dirty 1M. Wasn't even going to flinch on that.
Yeah.
Ooh. And I like that knee drop. You know, catching Oil King mid-air just at a string of coincidence.
Still hard for me not to get hype of this music.
It's such a good song.
Wow, free jump in. But still, Oil King needs to get a lot to come back here. Doesn't have any V-trigger available to him, so he's going to have to do this pure as possible. Oh, here's a good start. Side switch, beautiful. Now you're back in the corner.
Don't get headbutt.
Throw will actually kill. Yeah, he was worried about that. Oh,
and
he
he makes
got
the
him.
activation
He
save.
got
That
him.
was so
Yeah.
smart from Dirty 1M, especially with 6 seconds left on the clock. That even if Oil King sat there and blocked it, he was going to eat a ton for the block string and take a risk for the gap or anything like that. There was still time over to be aware of. That was so scary. Maybe Oil King might have gone for an input.
Right, and that's the thing is like because there was so little time left, I'm sure Oil King wanted just to get out of there potentially, maybe even jump over the mirror and just, you know, hey, I'm safe, run out the time. But again, caught being antsy with that second setup. Great job by Dirty 1M.
Oh, and then a lot of these jump-ins have been going uncontested from Dirty 1M. Honestly, it's been really tough to get out of this situation now as Oil King lays on the pressure, gives up the side switch.
This time got caught by it.
That's the tricky stuff.
And again, that's just like getting a shimmy. That's one of those taking advantage of natural human reactions, like the sweep into the baton that we saw. You see someone next to you jump forward like that, you automatically just start walking forward because you just want to get under them and be safe. And then they dive kick from the front and they catch you.
Yeah, there could have been anything from the side of Dirty M, right? It could have been like a delayed throw tech, any sort of movement option, sure, but it's still tough to call, especially when Oil King puts himself at that corner and the cross-up is blocked. But here we go, back into this corner situation. What's going to be the scenario that catches Dirty off guard? It's going to be another throw.
Oh, wow. Unfortunate for Oil King that he wasn't able to punish that, but fortunate for Dirty 1M to kind of get away with it. Dashes forward, Urian, one of the hardest to react to dashes in the game.
I just feel like catching dashes online in general is tough.
That's fair. Oh, baited. Made it look like a throw attempt. Goes with a standing heavy kick. Very similar to that EX burn kick that we saw from BPH.
Okay, throw is going to be just
Not
a little
enough.
bit.
Oh, big punish.
Boy.
You tried to go for that.
The reset.
You're done.
No, not
he
quite.
missed it. He missed it. No, he was trying to dunk him into the mirror 3 times in a row like Tokido style. And he just missed it somehow. Probably should have went for something a little more straightforward, a little simpler. I don't even know if he needed a second mirror to kill there.
I feel like he did need a second mirror for
Really?
that. I couldn't. I don't remember how much bar he had.
I thought he had one more bar. I thought maybe okay.
I don't know.
Check the tape. We'll have to check the tapes. Yeah.
I was just a little bit distraught at the choice he made towards the end, to be quite honest with you. Oh, that's tough. That's tough to watch.
That's a rough one.
Either way, Oil King now up 1 game. Getting closer and closer to that top 8 spot, 1 match at a time. Dirty 1M hasn't found the response yet. He almost had it last round, but brand new start here in game 2. Counter hit conversion. No, didn't have a charge left, or available, I should say.
Oh, nice. Okay. Gets the throw here and tries to go for the... Wow! He tried the anti-air. Like you said, one of the hardest parts of this match right now is that Oil King has been getting a lot of free jump-ins on Dirty 1M. And again, I mean, Urian has a lot of good anti-air options, but none of them are particularly quick, right? He's got the crouch heavy punch, the stand heavy kick.
It's tough. Oh, no!
Oh, no! Got him with the airman.
Bloop. And Oil King being very wary now with full meter does get Dirty M into the corner after that full conversion landing. Oh, boy.
Pressure. Always plus frames after that cancel.
And swinging away. Oh, man.
Dang. Very fortunate to actually just clean right through the spinning mixer like that. Oh, no, but safe on block, the regular one.
It's been pretty tough. Dirty M has not found a way out of... Okay, well, I'm lying to you all. He fought his way out of the corner. Oil King giving him that kind of relief. Just backing away from the corner just a little bit, right? Now back here in mid-screen.
Oh, that's
big
a punish. Oh,
big
boy.
punish.
This is huge now. All right, second mix-up now. V-shift to get out of there. Probably wanted to go in there for another mirror activation. Oh boy, he's
High
jumping around
action.
it. There we
Oil
go.
King is just jumping around. There comes the second mirror. Great defense so far from Oil
He's
King.
willing to take the throw, even though that would have put him at one more. Okay, not enough to kill.
Okay, nice and easy. Dirty 1M. You know what's very un-Oil King-like? The fact that we haven't seen a single EX spinning mixer.
Yeah, he used it to finish that one round off, but he hasn't used it since then.
Not
actually.
on defense.
Yeah. Dirty 1M manages to get away without spending that meter for the super kill in the previous round, but okay, there we go. Nice maximum confirm on the counter hit.
I like that, yeah, especially after that crouch medium punch being well within the range to get that crouch heavy punch, raw headbutt, but now they're just swinging at each other. Oil King.
Yeah, watch out for all those resources on Oil King's side. He's got triggers and critical arts all on deck.
Does get the forward throw, setting himself up.
Nice headbutt. Again, from the front, and the anti-airs are coming out now. Here we go. Oh, the mix-up.
And I like that. Yeah, still pressing a button. Not afraid of it at all.
Oh, got him. After that dive kick. I mean, again, you could see one of the advantages that Rashid has, that crouching light kick reaches so far, was able to fight off the mirror, but then he went for the EX dive kick, was hoping that Dirty wasn't ready for it. Tried to hit a button afterwards, but Dirty got the hit in first.
You know, since that last mix-up was shown, since the, I think it was like a couple rounds ago, right? Mm-hmm. Dirty hasn't fallen for any of those antics.
Right, yeah. And a lot of it, I think, too, is also because Dirty is in a kind of a scared situation, or kind of like, oh, God, here we go, that he's panicking more to hold back instead of trying to walk under the jump. You know what I mean? You almost kind of want to have the opponent be in a comfortable, calm situation.
Yeah. And he was willing to take the throw, too. If the throw was going to come out, he's like, all right, I'm just going to back away. I'm cool with that. It's fine.
Oh, he did it again. And that time, not even the V-triggered version. Man.
More jump-ins. It's tough to contest, man. When we see Oil King willing to deliberately go into the air into Eagle Spike, it's tough to make that decision, and I get that.
Okay, there we go. And the trade combo is great for him. Pushes him to the corner. He's got another mirror, but he hits him, and there's the nerf. Right there, the mirror goes away.
I'm still not used to seeing that, James. Never have I,
I talked about one of the Aegis Reflector nerfs. That was that's the
one.
Right, and it's a big one for Urians right there. Oh, that's punish. No. We've seen him and RB do that. I don't know if those are execution errors. Yeah, no free EX Tornado pressure for you.
And that's totally fine with Oil King, right? Considering the amount of life he has, that's fine with him.
Challenging after the light spinning mixer.
Oh, no whiff punish available there from Dirty M. Just wasn't ready for it. He thought the V-Skill was going to hit.
Right. Oh, but speaking of whiff punishes, Oil King gets one there. And the free jump in. Just out of there with the V. Oh, yeah. Nice. We got the Nemo right there. Ooh. No free jumps. Look at all this meter spent. Tries to go for a throw reset.
And do you see all that damage? No! A raw tackle from the side of Dirty M.
And if you don't finish the medium spinning mixer, you get the critical art. It's enough to kill Oil King into the top 8 of CPT Asia East #1.
And, that just sets him up for another Urian to play from RB, potentially. But let's talk about that last instance, right? Dirty 1M went for the raw tackle?
Like I said, we saw RB do that a couple of times. I don't know if it was a mistake. And then here we see Dirty 1M do that a couple of times as well, and he got punished big for it. I'm not sure. I can't figure out were you trying to chase a backdash? Wouldn't you? I don't know what that's about, unless it's an execution error. Were they trying a coral kick and they accidentally came out with that? I mean, it is down forward. That doesn't trigger the chariot tackle. I don't know. I mean, if Urian players out there have a better insight into that.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty tough call to make either way. I mean, it is what it is, though. I mean, Oil King is going to be moving on. Let's take a look at the bracket and what we could expect for our top 8 as we established.
The loser side over here. You see, it is going to be Hot Dog versus Minute Maid Orange, RB, and Oil King. And that means that, unfortunately, that means BPH, Punko, Yo-Yo Tai, and Dirty 1M are going out of the tournament in 9th place, as well as Combo Strike, QHDWN, Fake Crab, and Human Bomb all tying for 13th place. But again, don't count, like I said, some of those players that I mentioned, like Human Bomb and BPH, Punko, some of the best players that we have in this region. So congratulations to them for making it to top 16, including Combo Strike. First top 16, easier than he thought. Got up here first.
Easier
CPT.
than he thought.
Yeah.
Famous last words, huh? I will be winning this tournament.
What was it? I swore we were going to repeat this all the time. What was it that Itazan said? CPT is hard? Or
Yeah.
CPT is hard.
CPT is hard.
Yeah, this is tough stuff.
That pretty much solidifies who our top 8 is. When we return after this break, we will continue to pretty much give you the layout of what to expect for the top 8, as well as recap some of our matches in top 16 if you happen to miss it. So stay tuned. We've had plenty of Street Fighter V matches to go through, but again, we still have full analysis coming your way after this break.
Without stop.
Main event! Line it up. What a flop! Power to the earth! See what I'm really made of.
Pleased to meet you.
The honor was mine. I'll settle that.
Shaking here.
Bow down before my psycho power.
We've established our top 8 here for Asia East in the Capcom Pro Tour 2021. Vicious and James Chen getting ready to dissect some of our favorite matches into top 16, as well as get you ready for what to expect in top 8 tomorrow.
I'm just confused right now because I know I was looking at the top 8 brackets and NL is one of the players. Did we see NL play? I don't remember. I don't remember seeing him on stream at all.
It was pretty quick. I think it was like 4 rounds straight. Let's take a look at the bracket if we can to get you guys primed and ready, right? Top 16 winners. We're looking at the matches. 2-0s all across the board. James, if you were to pick a matchup from this segment or this part of the winners, which one was your favorite?
From the top 8,
you can't say NL and Oil King. I know for sure because you weren't even paying attention.
I blinked and that one was gone. Right. I mean, it's interesting because all of these were 2-0s. And so they were all pretty dominating, to be honest with you. So, I think that's more the tail of the tape here as opposed to just picking one of these matches. It's just kind of an indication here of how strong the players here are going to be on the winner's side. NL versus GamerB, Xiaobao versus Infiltration. However, that's a tall order for Xiaobao to go up against Infiltration, in my opinion. A little bit kind of a strong player there. But, it's funny because GamerB and NL are going up against each other, and that's a tough one right there because GamerB he is the veteran, right? But NL, I mean, how is he not a veteran himself?
Yeah, I was going to say NL,
right?
If not, he's just definitely up there within the ranks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like NL has a good amount of majors under his belt when we had those majors, and GamerB is the same way, right? Again, these guys are no strangers to each other. They've been in the ring against each other before, so this is going to be quite the slugfest. However, I am kind of curious about
Cammy slugfest too.
Oh boy, that's right. Yeah, and then Xiaobao versus Infiltration. That's going to be unpredictable, honestly. But I want to talk about some of the matchups. Right, Infiltration versus Hot Dog was actually one of my favorites to watch, only because it's very interesting to see how Hot Dog had to play against Infiltration in that play style, the keep away, the infamous keep away that Infiltration presents. But I also like the fact that Hot Dog was still trying to adjust to it. But it felt like Infiltration didn't skip a beat.
Well, remember we talked about that. Hot Dog just got baited into the defensive style, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. He was adapting to the style and then just overextended a couple of times.
And like I said earlier, that's just what Infiltration has been doing for so long. Sure. He has this play style, and one of the things that's interesting about the jury pick, we talked about it before the tournament started. That jury in the hands of Infiltration is going to be something. Is not just jury, right?
It's tough.
And Infiltration, the way that he plays, just has this means by which to kind of goad you into doing stuff. I mean, his Nash was similar, even though it was just like dashing back and forth, sonic boom, dashing back and forth. I still remember season 1, Nash was considered really strong in the first half of the season. He kind of fell off, but the reason why it was working so well early on was just because you're so goaded into trying to go up against Infiltration. When he played Takapre, in Street Fighter 4.
Sure, he has the same kind of keep away style to kind of annoy you a little bit and get you into thinking, all right, well, I'm going to just keep doing this until you fall for it. Well, I mean, that's what he ends up doing, to be honest with you. But there are also some other matches, too, that I did enjoy from winner's side. And then Xiaobao is actually one of those players I wanted to talk about, being able to pick apart Punko and his aggressive play, right? We kind of saw that towards the losers segment too, the way that Punko got his aggressive play style picked apart. But this was like the first example with Xiaobao, not afraid to press buttons in between those strings after being canceled, normal after normal, thinking that, okay, Xiaobao might not be familiar. No, that wasn't even the case. Xiaobao picked apart the offense from Punko and set that tone perfectly, very well, with Vega too.
Right, exactly. And Vega, a character who, I mean, at this point in time, anyone tries to claim that Vega is a weak character in the game. I mean, there's just no justification in that at this point in time. I think Vega's very strong. And, I talked about how the Poison was able to defeat RB's Dan really well. Vega can kind of do a lot of the same things, right? Vega outranges Dan. Dan is not exactly the character that's sitting here with a ton of range. So I feel like that was definitely one of the things. Maybe Punko should have went with the Abigail.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Moving on to the loser side, we saw into the top 16. I don't know if we could bring that up or at least bring up the graphic, but we can. Yes, we have the technology. My mistake. I apologize. We see here in round 1, you could pick from round 1 or round 2, right? Which one of these matches were ones that stood out to you?
I mean, I'm going to be biased, obviously, as a Lucia player. It was really cool to see
I agree.
BPH, not only just because he did it with Lucia, but he also did it, he played really strong. He just had a lot of good strategy in there and really took advantage of the way that Lucia plays. Even in the last 2 Hot Dog, I felt like the match was really, really strong. So it was just really cool to see him do some damage with that character that we haven't seen much in CPT top 16s.
And one of the things about BPH was really catching Human Bomb off guard with that B trigger too, as we talked about, right? There was a little bit of information being handed down to from Jammers, right? He was letting us know, it's like, after that sweep, there is a considerable gap. There are ways to interrupt it with crouching light kick, especially as Chun-Li, right? And even EX spinning bird kick.
Right, but here's the thing, right? You see that sweep, and everybody's minus 13.
Yeah, we were stuck on that. We were stuck on that idea for a while, man. We talked about that a good amount. Anytime Lucia was brought up, right, being able to cancel out of something that is heavily punishable.
Right. So you're always going to throw out the medium button to punish it because you want to maximize the damage. You throw out the crouching light. If you just don't know that she has that ability, you're going to try to punish it with the biggest button possible. So even though there is a big enough, 3-frame gap that you can punish in there, if you're throwing out those medium buttons and stuff like that, you're gonna get smacked by the baton, and that's just how it works.
That's just how it goes, man. And I get that. I do want to see the CFN replay after this, so I'm gonna be up for a while. Considering everything that we've just seen, right? This has been a very explosive out the gate kind of matches when we saw from the top 16, right? Out the gate from the winner's side, 2-0s all the way through. A lot of explosive camis. We're continuing to see that in the loser's side as well, right?
Yeah.
As we saw into our top 8 in general, right? We have, from the loser side, we didn't get to highlight it as much. Hot Dog versus Minute Maid Orange. RB versus Oil King, right? That's going to be pretty exciting overall, right? We're going to see that Oil King going into back-to-back Urians from his day. But again, he gets to rest for a good amount of time. But this is going to be our top 8, right? NL versus Gamer B. First thing. Then it's going to be Xiao Bao versus
Cammy to start, right?
Yeah, exactly. Xiao Bao versus Infiltration to follow suit. Then down below, Oil King versus RB. Very, very exciting. And then towards the end, Minute Maid Orange versus Hot Dog 29.
And again, for me, a lot of the stories, I always like to pay attention to character usage and also, country origins and stuff. And so really, we have the 3 camis in here. That's definitely one of the big deals here. But then also you saw right there, I think it was 4 Taiwanese players, 3 Koreans, and Hot Dog being the sole representative from Hong Kong remaining. And so that's actually pretty cool. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of weight, pressure for a Hot Dog. I mean, obviously he wants to perform for himself. This is still an individual sport in the end.
Yeah, at this stage, we've seen those kind of interviews before. Like how much pressure is there in terms of representing your country? These guys have been in the ringer before, and they're like, you know what? I feel like the pressure is just like non-existent now because we've been on these kind of stages for CPT. At this point, it's just like we're playing with our best on our minds at all times.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, that first match, not because it's a Cammy kind of situation, but again, Gamer B, like I said, I've just been a fan of Gamer B's in general. I'm good friends with Bruce and everything like that. I'm always happy to see him and stuff. And obviously, generational similarities, we share a lot of generational similarities there. And so it's exciting for me to see a player, I don't want to say up there, but obviously in the early 40s, be able to still perform in these tournaments here. And
it's
exciting.
A huge statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that match is going to be fun to watch.
I'm looking forward to seeing how RB does against Oil King, to be quite honest with you, because I'm a fan of both players, to be real. RB, again, I've been following since his breakout performance in Season 1. And then Oil King, man, I just... Levy's cool, man.
Yeah,
Levy's pretty cool.
He's. I mean, it's crazy to me to see that he is in the losers bracket, but obviously the players that we see on the winner side, they're all super good. So no shock there. But Oil King, he's so strong and he's been playing so well, and I'm excited to see how he's going to do.
Well, that's going to pretty much solidify the top 8. We hope to see you guys there. It's going to be the same time tomorrow, but for those in the States right now, 12:30 a.m. PDT is where you need to set your clocks. He's doing it right now. I'm going to make sure he does so because I don't want him to be late. But again, it's what you can expect for our top 8. James, your final thoughts going into it?
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of strong players. Make sure you do tune in at 12:30. I know that the matches started at 1, but again, I love listening to Rob TV and Brian F's thoughts and such. You know, again, those two guys have an awesome dynamic. I really enjoy listening to those two guys yammer on about some fighting games.
Pre-show is necessary, man. No neutral. And I gotta say, like, shout outs to the UK boys, F Word and Logan Sama for like setting the pace as well with the pre-shows at every CPT, and it's transcended into what we have now. A lot of entertaining stuff and a lot of very solid information going into each and every one of these CPT events. Please let them know on social media that you appreciate them, because these guys put in a lot of hard work for each and every pre-show. And from all of us from our side of the desk, if you guys want to holler at us and let us know what's going on with some of these players that may be your favorites, hit us up on Twitter at Vicious FGC down below, at Jay Chenzer. I almost messed that up. It's getting late. It's getting pretty late, so we're not going to hold you too long. We do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.